What do you know about anything? You're just some dope sitting by the phone without a job. Hello.
What was that when you said you were just some idiot? What's that echo I'm hearing now?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm hearing one, too.
What the hell is that all about?
Today I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Yeah, I can hear that echo.
Yeah. We don't have Bob Shepard to talk it up, though.
No. Boy, Bob Shepard is
about,
still there.
He's 140 years old. I heard him do that thing about the moment of silence for Wellington, the Giants game.
Yep.
And he doesn't sound good anymore either. You know, I mean, somebody ought to tell Bob, you were great and nobody had a voice like you and you legendary. But that's it, Bob. Time to go.
When I used to go to the press box with my father when I was a kid, Bob Shepard was
ago.
Right. Bob Shepard was the PA guy then.
Right.
And he looked old then.
Well, I'll give you an example. In Maple Leaf Gardens for about 600 years, there was a guy named Paul Morris who did the PA for the Leafs games. And, he finally, when he went to the Air Canada Center, I think he did one season, and then he said, okay, that's it, I'm an old man, and then he retired. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Sometimes old guys ought to retire.
Like us?
No, I'm not thinking of us. We're still doing it.
Yeah.
I had somebody else in mind. I don't want to get started, though, because I heard that yesterday I rattled somebody's cage and he got really all bent out of shape and went through a whole tirade, and I don't want to do that.
Oh, was it the pizza story that set him off?
It was the pizza story. See, I have a suggestion, because I'm sure he's listening right now, because this seems to be his hobby, is listening to this radio station.
I think he's in New York.
No, he's not. He's back today.
He's back?
You better get with it, mister. You're not on with the schedule.
No, I don't know.
But the way to get people to stop talking about the aberrant, grotesque, subhuman things that he does inside the building is to stop doing them. That would be a good start.
Yeah, then people wouldn't talk about them.
Exactly. In other words, during the hurricane and everything, you'd think that would be a time people trying to give each other helping hands, sharing, some gas, whatever, going out and getting some food, whatever needs to be done, as opposed to hijacking other people's food and then, bitching them out for hogging it and, rushing out of the room, Unacceptable.
It's an entitlement.
Yeah. And Claire, I had a chat with Clarence before the show this morning, and he just don't understand it.
Among other things.
Had a chat with Duff. He don't understand it. See, the thing of it is, Mo, it's not Neil. It's not George. It's not Hank. It's everybody. There must be a reason for it, okay? The whole world is wrong. Look in that mirror if you can stand it. I know I have a tough time in the morning. Look in the mirror. See if you can handle it. And say, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I coexist with other people?
As opposed to us, we get along with everybody.
Right. I can't think of one. I'm trying to think. Well, I'm sure that there are other people in the building hate me like poison, and probably you too. But as far as coexisting and getting along with them, I don't have a problem with other people there.
Yeah, I've had except for the incident in the parking lot. She's not here anymore.
Right. She loves me.
She does?
I mean, the only one at IOD, well, that's what she says. The only one I can think of was Boy Gary that you had a problem at IOD. And we all have problems with PDs now and then.
Yeah, well, he was...
Yeah, he was. Don't say it, though. He thought he had a job for life. That was the best. He thought he had a job for life. All these people who are in denial. See, if the whole world hates you, there must be a reason. The whole world can't be wrong, okay? Just like George Bush, if his approval rating's down to 35% now, if 65% of America finally wised up and caught on to him, they couldn't all be wrong.
It's sinking every day, like the stock market.
Yeah, that is correct.
Absolutely.
Just like we got 2,035 dead Americans now, and now finally, after I don't understand where the media's been. Where have they been all this time? Richard Clark wrote that book, and Paul O'Neill wrote a book, and everybody was screaming bloody murder, and Scott Ritter and Hans Blix, and there's no weapons, and there never were any, and the media didn't want to listen. I'm hearing that echo, and it's going to drive me nuts. Where's that coming from? George is out sick today, so we got.
Oh, he is?
We have issues, yeah.
Who's working with you then?
We got, let's see, Shy is going to be doing
Shy will be
with
with you.
Josh Cordes, yes.
Okay.
And then we got the Beast coming in. So your people are coming in to pick up the load, share the load.
Well, they're good people.
They're good people, and they will not be stealing our pizza. I don't know what you're chuckling about. I think that it was a funny story, but it was just a typical example of, being socially incapable of coexisting with other people.
Sometimes these sports shows I can maneuver people on this show, and that's what I enjoy about it. If I want to, I know how to hit the hot buttons with those University of Miami fans and just infuriate them.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's easy.
Yeah. There's nothing easier than that.
They're a bunch of real wusses.
Yep. Half the people who are University of Miami fans couldn't get in there.
Right. Well, that's the thing that I still don't understand is that, when they had the great seasons of winning the national championships, like you said yesterday, everybody jumps on the bandwagon. It's as phony, as synthetic as can be. And even during those years when they play like one of the girls' teams on the schedule, they have like 18,000 people in there, or like 35,000.
Yep.
But I can remember when they did have 18,000 people.
Oh, I remember when they almost folded.
Right.
They were going to go to Division II or go out of business altogether.
Yeah. See, I went to Michigan State, and I'll be honest with you. When their games are on, I watch a little bit because I know they'll choke in the clutch. And
I know. I pay attention to you. I know that the two pizza places in East Lansing that you were talking about.
Right. I wasn't talking about pizza places. I was talking about Satellite Hamburgers.
Oh, Satellite Hamburgers. That's right.
Varsity Drive-In was the place they used to deliver to the dorms.
Well, what was the one that you were talking about that had the real thin burgers?
And they Satellite.
Oh, yeah. What are they? Are they like the ones that you get from the local guy here?
No, these were like full size.
They weren't sliders.
No, these weren't like not sliders. These were like regular burgers, but very, very super thin patties, so you could have like 10 of them, and with the cheese in between each slice, so just enough to choke a horse. Speaking of horse, that's the true story I told about Henry's.
Yeah,
that was right up the road.
The horse meat story,
but they were serving horse meat at Henry's Burgers, and then I think they reopened. I'm not too sure.
That's like the rumors they say about in New York in Chinatown. They spread rumors about their competition, talking about when you see the guys late at night walking around with the cats in the sacks.
Yeah. Well, at least it gets them off the streets anyway. Yeah, those were the days, boy. But like I started to say before you started with the food stuff, I went to Michigan State and I'd like to see them win, but I don't watch their games for the most part. I mean, if it's on, I might watch maybe 5-10 minutes. Because I can avoid the aggravation of them blowing the lead every week. But it's not a big deal. But people who didn't even go there, what's the point? See, that's what I don't understand. If you didn't go to a University of Miami, why do you have to be such a fanatic? And it only came when they started having a great success. That's the only time those people jumped on the bandwagon. When I had my season tickets that Fat Rich and I paid for at the Dolphin games for several seasons, and these silly people who would sit around us, and they'd come, they wouldn't have their Dolphin paraphernalia on. They'd have their Hurricanes jackets on and the caps and the T-shirts. And I wonder, you're at a Dolphins game. Why are you wearing this crap? And then some of them before the game would turn around, hey, Neil, how'd you like that Canes game last night? And I didn't watch it. I don't care. They should only rot in hell. Who cares, And I guess they assume because they did Canes baseball for 6 years that somehow that transferred to the football program. Nothing could be further from the truth. Well,
the truth is, I like to see them win because I know the coaches and, I like a lot of the people who I've met down there.
I'm trying to think of teams that I root harder to lose. Notre Dame, Michigan, and then I think the Canes. Those are the three teams I root hardest against.
Now the anti-Notre Dame people are starting to root for Notre Dame because of Charlie Weiss, I guess.
Is that what it is?
Yep.
Well, I mean, I'm a big Patriots fan, and I don't root for Notre Dame because of Charlie Weiss. I might root for him because of Brady Quinn, but that's another story.
I think the Patriots might beat Indianapolis Monday night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't, from your mouth to the Lord's ears, I can't believe you said that.
Hey, they've beaten them 7 straight times.
I know, but their defense is still pretty shaky.
Yep.
Pretty wobbly.
But
they were all out to win that game. See, I wanted to ask you this yesterday and I forgot. How is it that, Teddy Bruschi comes back? It's one of the great feel-good sports stories in a long, long time. The media's all fired up and whipped up. They're making a big deal about it. The fans are foaming at the mouth. It's a home game right there in Foxborough. And the team comes out, and the first 3 quarters of that game, the offense played like they were in a coma. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
I don't know, because Buffalo was the worst team in the league against the run.
Right.
And New England just looked flat. And they were coming off. They had 2 weeks to get ready, too.
Right. They looked like they missed the bus to the stadium or something.
That was one of my losers this week.
Really?
I thought if there was a sure thing that they would just blow out Buffalo with all the emotional stuff going on.
Yeah. So you think they really have a chance to beat the Colts, huh?
I do.
Sandy Peyton Manning?
I think they were looking ahead last week.
Now, what are all these derisive things, these rumors I'm hearing about Sandy Peyton Manning? That's really outrageous.
About Peyton?
Yeah.
I haven't heard those.
Well, look, I gave you the pizza story yesterday. I think that's enough for you to handle this week. I don't want to overload your system.
Okay. It's called camaraderie in the NFL.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, that's what it's called here at QAM. It's camaraderie. It's only we just have...
Yeah, we all hate one guy.
You got free pizza. Back off.
Oh, no.
I think I'm out of here.
Oh, yes. Okay, well, have a great day.
You too.
All the crap you could unwrap, all the slime, all the time. Where is the love if I don't get no promotion?
That's when you go doing. You gotta try very second, use the lotion.
That's when I doing. Sport folks don't got no sense and you find.
That's when you go doing. That's what your body has a cancerous tumor.
Oh, here's some good news for the humper, by the way. Thanks, Bill, for faxing in the information. It says, listener for over 18 years. Boy, you must be old like me, Bill. But anyway, it says, Calder is running a full card today.
Oh!
It says, we're open at 11 o'clock this morning. The poker room is open, and so please let everybody know. Well, I just did, Bill, and I'll repeat it numerous times. Don't let me forget.
Don't forget.
Okay, Calder's running, starting 11 o'clock this morning, a full card. So now the humper's got something to look forward to. He can go out there and plunge his guts out.
Sure, he's on his
Let
way
me say
right
it
now.
again, Mo. I just want to say one last thing. I don't want to dwell on this any more than 3-4 hours today, but the fact of the matter is if you're all bent out of shape, you probably shouldn't have lifted those guys' pizza. If you wouldn't have done it, we wouldn't have talked about it because it wouldn't have happened. I'd like to know what about that story isn't true? What part isn't true? It's just par for the course. It's an ugly, sad episode. See, there's some people that like to pull all the shenanigans behind the scenes and then to everybody's face come out like Sandy Payton. She was a real good one at IOD. Oh, hello, everybody. You know, on the air, she put on this phony front, and behind the scenes, almost everybody in that building at IOD hated her like poison. When I went to work over there, they started telling me stories to make your hair curl, make your hair grow. So, you know, people want to pull stuff off the air behind the scenes, and then they get all bent out of shape when the public finds out about it because it gives the people a better insight as to why everybody hates them like poison. But that's all I have to say about that. I hope you enjoyed the pizza. I hope you enjoyed the pizza. I hope it was real tasty. Here's our poll result from yesterday. Who is your all-time favorite dead celebrity? 1,350 votes, not too bad. By the way, George is out sick today, so the people that like to call and make comments about George, wait till he comes back tomorrow.
He's got the fever.
Does he really?
Yeah, he called me, actually, before the show.
Got the chills and fever?
Yeah.
Well, no wonder he does. He's got no power. I think he ought to sue FP&L. That's what I would do, George. I'd sue their ass for about $5 million. I'll take one. I'll take 20%. Or maybe I'll take...
About 30,
no,
man.
that sounds even better. I'll take $1.5 million and give $500,000 to Josh, and I'll take the even million. Sounds good.
I like that.
No, seriously. I mean, you know, he's had no power. He got a sick household there because you can imagine what it's like trying to keep the air breathable and everything going. He's got the generator going, so they're probably breathing those gas fumes. And they're all sick in the Rodriguez household because, and I'll give you the numbers in a couple of minutes here, but FP&L's still doing a horseball job. And anybody that wants to kiss their ass, man, I got news for you. You're not fooling anybody. These people, FP&L doing a wonderful job, you know, like the Schnittmeister over there sitting in Tampa, sitting in an air-conditioned studio. Oh, they're doing a wonderful job, yeah. I'm sitting all the way up here in my nice air-conditioned place and looking at the sun outside, and I know they're doing a horrible job because that's all they ever do. Plus, I have my internets. Who's your all-time favorite dead celebrity? We asked yesterday. John Lennon blew away the competition, 155. Nice going, John. John Belushi, 87. Bob Marley edged out John Candy. We almost had 3 Johns in a row there, but Bob Marley edged him out, 80 to 78. John Candy, 4th. Rodney Dangerfield, 64. Elvis, 63. Phil Hartman, 61. Chris Farley, 57. Johnny Carson, 54. Groucho Marx, 42. Frank Zappa, 39. Jimi Hendrix, 37. Frank Sinatra, 36. Oh, that's sad. Lucille Ball, 33. Carol O'Connor, 33. Jackie Gleason, 32. Curly, of Curly, and, what was the other one? And yeah, 29. Who the hell did I leave out? Curly, Moe, and the other one. You wouldn't know. What the hell do you know about the Three Stooges?
I know Curly and Moe. Everybody knows that.
Well, who's the third one I'm leaving out? Oh, Larry, but that wasn't his name.
Yeah,
Larry, Curly, and Moe. Yeah. Marilyn Monroe, 28. Jim Morrison, 27. John Wayne, 24. Ray Charles, 24. Same guy. Freddie Mercury, 22. Johnny Cash, 20. Bruce Lee, 19. Gilda Radner, 18. Jimmy Stewart and George Harrison, 17 apiece. Marlon Brando, only 16. What's the matter with you? Celia Cruz, 15. Elizabeth Montgomery and Bob Hope, 13 apiece. Jack Lemmon, 12. Marvin Gaye, 10. Marvin Gaye. Charles Schultz, 9. Jim Croce 6. Gene Rayburn got up to 6. Nice going, Gino. John Denver 6. Tony Randall 6. River Phoenix 6. Paul Lynn 5. Patty Arbuckle 5. Buddy Holly 5. Raymond Berg 4. Jack Parr 3. William Holden 3. Louis Nye 3. Sonny Bono 3. Steve Allen 2. Michael Landon 2. And Jack Webb solamente uno. But at least everybody got at least one vote. So Jack Webb, he snuck in there with 1. Why would that be your favorite dead celebrity, Jack Webb? He had a personality like a prune. 10-14, although that was the character he was playing. I mean, he did a good job of playing the character, but he didn't have to act much. Kind of like Kevin Costner when he plays a real boring guy. He doesn't have to act at all.
If he wants me to sing God Bless America and pasties and a G-string up here, I'll do it.
All right.
I do. She knows all I am is hungry. For every girl in this world that ever has winked at me, sure I lie, I betray. So this breakup I feel is the best thing for me. Those strippers are fine. I feel 1,000 sensations when they seduce me, oh Jessica, I do cheat on you. I'll spend the rest of my life finding another hot wife. I do cheat on you. Cheating's hard to control. I guess I'm just an a-hole.
Yes.
I've waited to say this to you. If you think this breakup's leaving me crushed, guess again.
305 votes on our poll already today. We got a new poll up there. I'm pretty proud of that, aren't you? And I'm pretty proud of the fact that our friend Sean out there in Hollywood sent us that list yesterday of a whole new bunch of polls. Good ones, too, Sean. It's about time. I mean, nice going.
All right.
Huh?
Said all right.
Well, how would you like to have to come up with a different poll idea every day? It's not bad enough to put those those great stories on the website, but how would you like to have to come up with a different poll idea? Because the South Florida audience generally,
I'm all set.
You don't want to have this responsibility, too. I was thinking that might be a really good idea for you.
Well, maybe if maybe another zero on the check, I'll come up with it.
How about like over there at Joel's station?
Oh.
All zeros.
Oh.
Yeah, that sounds good. 311 votes. Who do you wish had become president? Now, recent or past, or whenever? Al Gore, 101. Well, he actually won the election, but don't confuse people with the facts, including him. Bobby Kennedy, 80. That's what I voted. Bobby Kennedy. Boy, we wouldn't have had Nixon. We wouldn't have had Watergate. We wouldn't have had Spurious Agnes. We wouldn't have had any of that stuff. But nevertheless, we wouldn't have had the war dragging on for all those other years. And we probably would have had like 20 or 30,000 kids not come home in body bags. But nevertheless, in Vietnam. Bobby Kennedy, 80. Oh, there's Howard Dean, my man.
We're going to have a health care system that covers everybody.
You go, Howard. Dean. John McCain, 53. John Kerry, only 26. Isn't that kind of interesting, huh?
Oh, not really.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
they don't like the way...
Do you know anybody who's real crazy about John Kerry?
No.
Okay.
No, too much waffling, too much... He was against it before he was for it, and then all this other crap. It's just too much waffling, man. It's inconceivable that a guy who was a decorated war hero could lose to a draft dodger, especially right in the middle of an illegal, phony war. It's just amazing. But he did it, or at least so they say. John Kerry, 26. Ted Kennedy, 11. You go, Ted. Have another one. Mario Cuomo, 11. Well, he said, I got to hand it to him. At least he was honest about it. He said he never was going to run for president because he had too many skeletons in the family closet. You know that Sicilian thing?
Yeah.
Too many Siciliani in the family tree. So as a result, whatever that means, I think we know what it means. Not that we want to create a stereotype like all Sicilians are mafiosi, but there are some. Hubert Humphrey, in fact, Geraldine Ferraro, who ran for vice president, was Walter Mondale, although I noticed Walter's not on here yet. That's because I didn't put him on there. Let's see, Hubert Humphrey, 8. See, there's another one. If he would have just disassociated himself with LBJ in the war just about a month sooner or a couple of weeks sooner, he would have beaten Nixon in 68, too. Hubert, who we saw the public dying of on Time magazine. George McGovern, 7. Adlai Stevenson, 6. Nelson Rockefeller, 5. Michael Dukakis, 3. I bet you didn't even know who the hell Adlai Stevenson was, do you? If he walked in there right now, which would be a miracle because he's been dead for a long time, you wouldn't recognize him, would you?
I'd probably hide my
How about
feet
Shai
like
Libby?
a
You know Adlai Stevenson?
Have no idea.
Good Catholic boy? Divorced? Well, he had that problem. He was divorced Catholic, not good. Maybe he wasn't Catholic. I don't know what the hell he was. No, he wasn't Catholic. He was divorced. And he ran against the war hero, Eisenhower, who was as illiterate as the day was long, although he did have a lot of interest. He had interest in a lot of things, but he was... And Eisenhower, I will say this, he didn't do much as president, but on his last legs before he went out, he warned about the military-industrial complex and how they were going to take over the whole damn country and the whole damn world, and he was absolutely correct. Nice going, Ike. I like Ike. Oh, sorry, Shy. I said Ike.
No problem.
Okay. And the good news for you is today, see, George is out sick, so Shy's just sitting on his ass there. All he has to do is play the spots. Unlike last week when you had to, answer the phones, get all the information, now you get a rest, a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, I think there's a gas station open on Sunrise, by the way.
There you go. Actually, what he's going to do is just make up places. And by the way, Adam, don't come back with any more excuses, but I don't want to go into it. Adam's okay. Hey, Adam, how's that chocolate fountain coming? We're going to stick your head in it pretty soon, Adam. I don't want to mention it was Adam that told me that story. I don't want to say which story, just Adam. Wasn't it Adam that gave me that report this morning, Josh?
Yeah, it was. What story are you talking about, though?
Anyway, the sad part of it is, see, I take the crap, because I'm the one that does the show, so I take the crap. But in the meantime, all the other people in that building, and I mean all of them, egg me on to go on here and do the Moe did this and Moe did everybody else in there. So you can blame me all you want. I got big, broad, fat shoulders, okay? I'll take all the heat for it. All the heat, all the time. But nevertheless. In fact, I could probably put Shy on the spot and find out, since he was brought down by Moe from New York, having worked with you up there to produce his show, and then when Hank went on in the morning, you had the choice of either sticking with the Moe Meister or going on a Hank show. Maybe you like getting up early in the morning. Is that it?
Yes.
That was the reason, that you like getting up real early in the morning, that you chose to work with Hank.
No comment.
Okay. Now, you see that? No comment. Oh, my God. That speaks volumes right there. If we can't count on Shy Libby to put in a good word for the old Moe Meister, who can we count on then? I'm trying. I'm trying like crazy. Maybe Robert will do it. He lies a lot.
We're still looking for that good word.
Yeah. Robert lies a lot. But see, one thing about Robert, the reason he's still there, he's a human chameleon. Whoever he's working with, man, he'll suck up to their face like crazy. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. This one is... Yeah. But then behind their back, the knives are just plunging all over the place. Here's the FPL numbers as of 6 this morning. I looked for the 10 o'clock, but they don't have it yet. As of 6 a.m. this morning in Broward County, a very, very unacceptable number, 624,700 restored, but still 238,100. This is 10 days after Wilma. 238,000 plus still out in Broward. Shameful. In Dade County, 765,900 restored, but almost 200,000, 190,600 still out. And in Palm Beach County, 561,900 have been restored, but 101,600 still out. So in other words, they've got over 500,000 people around the state still without power, and the overwhelming majority, as a matter of fact, all except for 2,000.
George.
All except for 2,000 are in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. There are 500 in St. Lucie, and Martin County's got 1,500 out, and all the other ones are in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Well, how do you like that? And I realized that we took the biggest brunt of the storm, but nevertheless, it is totally, absolutely puke-inducing and absolutely acceptable by any measure. I mean, when we get to the point where we're actually saying good things about Ike Siemens, you know that FP&L is really full of crap.
This is Neil Rogers.
Aaron Brown is out at CNN. Enough of the whining already, Aaron.
Absolutely.
I had to buy a Cadillac, a big stinking Coupe. I wish I had my money back. It don't do much good standing still. So drag head down the desert way. Those greedy selling slobs. Let it deal with the oil man. And now we're getting robbed. Look at these gas prices. Stop the scrap today. Fire up the jet fighters and blow those towel heads away. Look at these gas prices. Bossy A-Raps, bossy A-Raps. Gas prices. Bossy A-Raps.
10:31 at 560 WQM. Let's take a look at that schedule. Moe is back from New York. We got my close personal buddy, the Moe Meister, at 2 this afternoon, the pizza thief. Mad Dog 4 to 6:30. Panther preview 6:30 to 7, and the Panthers at Boston at the Fleet Center to play the Bruins. Bruins are come see, come saw. They're in and out. They're okay. 7 o'clock tonight with Geldy and Red Deer, silly Red Deer Randy, and then we got Curtis for Eddie K at 10 tonight. Because I'm assuming Eddie K is on his way back from Vegas, right?
He's plunging his guts out.
He is plunging his brains out there in Vegas, just hand over fist. And speaking of that, let me say it again in case the humper's in his car on the way out. Calder is running a full car today, opening at 11 o'clock this morning. Poker room is open, too. So Bill over there says, let everybody know, please, and you're welcome, Bill. And thank you so much. You see, here we go. CNN, what are they hyperventilating now? A missing girl near Chatsworth, California, or 2 girls missing near Chatsworth, California. So the chicken Aruba that they never found, that story, they couldn't keep milking that one anymore. So now...
And black boots.
See, there we go. She's got black boots. And, yeah.
Now, there's 2 girls?
2 girls. Amanda Quaglino. Now, don't tell me you're getting sucked into this story.
No, I was just going to say, does that mean that it's going to be twice as long as the Aruba?
Oh, yeah, twice as much coverage. Good point. Yeah. Twice as much excuse to fill up a lot of airtime. Hyperventilating. How many thousand missing people do you think there are in the U.S. right now?
About
30,000 minimum. And yet they pick and choose whatever it is. It's always women, by the way. You notice that. Not that they're sexist, but it's always missing girls. Never missing guys. Ever. No guys go missing, I guess. Right?
I guess so.
Only females. Missing females. They're walking to a stable in Chatsworth, California, about a block away. They've been missing since 5:30 Pacific time last night. That's 8:30 our time. So that's like 14 hours they've been missing. Holy Toledo, man. So now there's Mrs. Limbaugh. She's sitting on her like that, hyperventilating. It's just more time to fill up as opposed to talking about the needless dead people in Iraq and the soldiers and about all this other stuff. About Tom DeLay and Bill Fist and about Scooter Libby, who's going to court today. All these things. No, we don't want to talk about that. Let's kill a lot of... Oh, here we go. See that? Finally, the power of Neil comes through.
Courtroom that is being used because of the wide interest in this.
There's 95-year-old Bob Franken telling us all about Scooter Libby. Anyway, let's get into this good stuff. Although I see we do have some calls on here. Do you think these might be worthwhile or not?
I'm sure they're fantastic.
Okay. WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew he was going to be first. WQAM, hello.
How you doing, Neil?
Good.
Neil, this is the time that we need to bond together and stop the hate, don't you think?
That's his boyfriend. So.
Oh, this is Reverend Jones' boyfriend. Yeah, 1-2. They're probably on the same line. He's probably got the cord wrapped around his, somewhere. WQAM, hello.
Hitler!
3 for 3,
Josh. You are right. You know who I haven't heard from in a long time, and I'm worried about him. I think he may have, croaked during the storm. We can only pray. The Whisperer.
No, remember? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, whole building is boring. You know the one I'm talking about, the Whisperer.
I do.
Haven't heard from him. We're very concerned. Might have to send out a search party. Might have to call CNN. Even though it is a guy, we think. We're not too sure. But if we don't have the Whisperer, we may not be able to continue. I might have to just roll into the room and go back to the sack.
No.
5670560, yes, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular Wireless lines. WQAM, hello.
Avoid the noise. I've been to Moe.
WQAM, hello. Not there. QAM, hola.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hi. I've been calling since 10 o'clock. I've been listening to the radio since 8. And they're supposed to give away the heat tickets on the radio station, but they never did.
What do you mean by that? Sure we did. Right before the show, they played that Mad Dog. Yeah, screaming and yelling. You better get with it, mister. Get that waxy buildup out of your ears. He's probably listening to the wrong station. You're probably listening to that loser station over there. But that's okay, because they need your help. Believe you me, they need you desperately. So we've taken 5 calls now, and the first one we get of a semi-human being, he wants some heat tickets.
Oh, we're on the right track.
Yeah, we're really moving in the right direction now. By the way, we got all the tickets you want right now for whatever it is. You name the event, and we'll send you a whole bunch of crap. We'll send you a bunch of... It'll look like maybe it was once tickets. It's just a bunch of paper that got soaked during the storm. You know how paper gets when it gets really soaked and it's just like pulp,
Yeah.
So we're going to send you a bunch of pulp in an envelope, and trust me when I tell you, those used to be some very valuable tickets. Right there, like skybox tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can still try to go to the event, see if they'll let you.
Right. You can just show your lump of crap when you walk to the box orifice to the gate and see if they let you in. Just say, hey, this is from QAM, and they'll kick your ass right out. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, happy birthday, number 1.
Thank you. That's Saturday, 63 years old, man. Really old, an old fat Jew. Yes, fag.
That's not... my birthday's the 6th.
Well, how do you like that?
And I was born on the day of Adlai Stevenson losing. If he would have won, I was supposed to be named Adlai.
Really? Well, thank God he lost, huh?
Well, my mom named me Kimberly.
Yeah.
Which is even worse.
Kimberly?
Kimberly.
Is that what Kim... See, I never really thought about that before. I mean, like Kim Bocamper. Don't be calling him Kimberly. He'll smack you and he'll step on you.
Yeah, he will.
Is
All
your
right,
name
well,
really
happy birthday.
Okay, thanks. His name is Kimberly. Wouldn't you, like, sue your parents if they did that? Parental malfeasance?
That's a lot. Well, you know what? When you're as big as him, it's not like the kids in school are making fun of you.
Hey, Kimberly. Well, how do you know how big he was when he was in school? Maybe he, like, sprouted at 17 or 18. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, well,
yeah,
the
you're
guy's
right.
a
He was
giant,
probably
I'm sure in
he was
7th grade.
probably a big mother, a
yeah.
giant in the industry. Although he was sucking up to FBNL those couple of days he was on. I'm really unhappy about that. We're going to attack that cow in front of University Dodge if you don't watch it, Kimberly.
He was sucking up. He doesn't have power.
Well, he was still sucking up. Well, maybe, I guess he's doing a little psychological thing. I guess he figured if he sucked up to them, they'd turn the power on. Surprise!
I thought he was a killer bee.
Yeah.
Hey, chumba, doi.
Oh, here's line 9, QAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, what's up?
How you doing, sir?
Hey, I don't delve too much into politics because I believe Republicans and Democrats are both just one party of rich people stealing my life from me.
There you go. That's an excellent point.
But this thing with Scooter, I hear everybody talking about it, and here's my take.
What's your take?
He can plead guilty. This guy can let's say he just pleads guilty. Let's take a best case scenario, and he says, okay, I did it. I killed the Lindbergh baby and did all this other stuff. And
he probably kidnapped that chick in Aruba, too, I would think.
That's right. Let's say
and these two chicks in California, in Chatsworth.
He pleads guilty to the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
He says he set up Hitler and everything, too,
to,
while he was at it. And then Bush is just going to pardon him, and then Cheney's going to give him a job at Halliburton making 50 times more than what he's making now, and everything gets solved. So why is he even trying to prosecute him is my whole thing. It's like a big old theatrical experience.
It's something to get our mind off all those dead soldiers, you know, at least for a day or two. Although, of course, when they start looking into it, realize that this is the basis part of the whole underpinnings of why we went there. But nevertheless, don't confuse the public with the facts. We got to get busy, find those two chicks from Chatsworth, baby. Get out there with a search party and cut the crap. Oh, Lewis, and look at that. This caller was psychic. Lewis Libby pleads not guilty to all charges against him. You see that? I told you. That was good. See, I told you if you take like 30, 40 calls, maybe, just maybe, you might get one that makes a little bit of sense. And by the way, if you want those tickets, get on the horn. Maybe they still have the horn left over from Yom Kippur, you think?
It's possible.
Or is it Rosh Hashanah, Shai? Is it Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur that we blow the shofar?
Actually, you do it in both.
Really? Well, practice makes perfect. Who do you wish had become president now or past? Al Gore, 116, as boring as he was. Remember that speech he made a few months ago? No, actually it was before the election last year. See, time flies. Remember that Kerry endorsement speech?
I do.
Pounding the and just screaming and yelling. Man, if he would have just done that 5 years ago, they couldn't have stolen the election. Al Gore, 116. Bobby Kennedy, 95. John McCain, 60. John Kerry, only 33. Scary. Ted Kennedy, 15. Mario Cuomo, 14. With or without the skeletons. Hubert Humphrey, 9. Adlai Stevenson, 9. George McGovern, 8. Nelson Rockefeller, 8. And Michael Dukakis has solamente tres.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM. Get it on.
Following is a test of the FEMA alert system. This is only a test.
Huh? What happened? Where?
This was only a test. If it had been an actual emergency, you would have received instructions from FEMA within 4 or 5 days, give or take.
Hey everybody, I'm Brownie Brown, accountable for everybody drowned and drowned. As a human being, I'm a big disappointment, but I got a brown nose and I knows where to point it. There was no rush to get them saved. They don't vote Republican anyway. I did everything I possibly can to show my support for the Ku Klux Klan. Oh, what a job I had as director of FEMA, when I ain't much more than a weaselly schemer and a clueless son of a pig.
Absolutely.
Gets his gigs, brown nose in the ridge. Gets his gigs, brown nose in the ridge. New Orleans is wiped out and gone, but W said I did one heck of a job, and it sure pays off to be a crony and another white-pasty Christian phony. The National Guard is down there now, with orders just to get the press out of town. Everybody go home, there's nothing to see. Everything here is peachy keen. Oh, know the hurricane gave us the big easy for neocon social engineering like a giant Republican squeegee. Praise Jesus Bush, our Lord and King. Praise Jesus Bush, our Lord and King. I don't believe compassion's what we lack. It serves the right to hapless blacks and you dissenters who say it's a national disgrace. They shouldn't have it black in the first place. This is no time to play the blame game, since we know that hurricanes are caused by gays who are not the right kind of homo. Like Scotty McClellan and Karl Rove, oh, we're achieving the American right-wing dream to make everybody white like me, and an ignorant son of a bitch who gets his job brown nosing the rich. Oh, how I miss petting my Arabian horses. I'd rather do that than watch floating corpses. I'm a negligent murderer now, and I'll keep going down to keep my nose brown. I'm a negligent murderer now,
Rectum.
but I'll keep going down to keep my nose brown.
14 to 11 at 560 WQM. Things are starting to come back a little bit, right? Now, when George called in to tell you about he's got fever and chills and puking his guts out and sicker than hell, did he mention whether we got the power back or not?
He didn't. I heard the generator going.
Oh, no.
But speaking of things coming together.
Yes?
I have a 5.5-minute clip of Howard David yesterday.
No.
Oh, I do. It was on Boca Bits.
A 5-minute clip of Moe, did you say, or somebody else? I thought I heard you say another name.
Oh, it's his show from yesterday. So
I see.
I can fire that, whatever you want me to do.
You mean like right now?
Like.
Let's go to Carlo in Miami. Carlo, you're on WQAM. How are you?
Hello?
Carlo.
Howard.
Carlo.
How you doing? I'm going to report you, Howard.
Carlo.
I'm going to report you for looting.
You're going to what?
I'm going to report you for looting pizza.
Get out of here. Let's go to Tom in Fort Lauderdale. Tom?
Howard.
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
It's a beautiful day in New York. I hear it's raining in South Florida. Is that true?
Not where I'm at the moment. It's quite beautiful here.
All right, then I'm going to come home tonight.
First thing, Panthers get shut down. Not too concerned with it. I agree with you. I don't think Gary Payton is going to be the thing to look at. I think Antoine Walker and his youth. And these guys calling in your show are making me sick. This is a sports show. This is a show that you should be speaking about sports, not poking fun at. And not once have I ever heard you go doy.
Another idiot. What do we do? Have a corner on the market on morons today? You want to waste your time? Waste your time. I'm here until 4 o'clock. I'm going to get paid until 4 o'clock, and then I'm going to get off the air. If all of you coconuts want to give me all of this other crapola that emanates from the previous show, knock yourselves out. But I would strongly recommend you do something really, really smart to help your own cause. Get a job. Get a job. And if you got nothing better to do than call up and waste your time and mine, then it's on you, man, because I'm getting paid no matter who the hell calls up. Would I like to talk about sports? Yes. Am I being prevented from doing it from time to time? Yes. But that's management. Management can either let it continue or they can stop it. It's up to them. So it's on management. Management wants me to continue to play this stupid grab-ass game. I'm going to continue to play the stupid grab-ass game. And guess what? You're going to continue to pay me until such time that I've had enough. And that time's coming close. Very close. And then what do? You're going to have to actually prepare to do a radio show instead of all of this nonsense, aren't you? So it's up to you, management. Make up your mind. You want to continue to play this stupid game, or do you want to grow up and be like men? I'm going to continue to talk sports. You want to talk with me? I'll listen to whatever you got to say. You want to talk intelligently? I'm here. You want to continue to act like a bunch of sophomores in high school? Knock yourselves out. But I ain't playing that game. Homie ain't playing that game, man. I'm telling you that straight out. And you want to continue to waste my time? Fine. I'll sit here and talk to myself till 4 o'clock. I don't really give a crap.
You're not going around hitting people with socks, are you, like Homie the Clown, are you?
No. That thought crossed my mind. I came here to do a job. You don't want me to do my job? Fine. Say, here's a check, leave. I'll leave. It doesn't make any difference to me. Trust me when I'm telling you that. And if management's listening, pay close attention. You want me to continue to do a radio show? It's on you. You don't want me to do a radio show? You want me to continue to field these idiotic calls from morons that dovetail off the previous show? That is also on you. Let's go to John. You're on WQAM. John?
Hey, what's up? Want to talk about Dolphin defense? What's up with all these people giving you a hard time about...
You know what? Hey, John, I don't really give a damn anymore. I don't really care. All I know is that very soon we're going to come to a parting of the ways, and you know what? It's going to be on everybody else, not on me. I'm here to do my job. You want to talk sports? I'm here to listen to you.
Oh, no. Well, I just wanted to talk because, I mean...
No. I'm not talking about you, John.
No, I know. I'm just saying, obviously, the Dolphins' defense is our strong point. We need to score more points, and, the point is we don't get enough points on the board, we don't win the games, and the defense is our strong point, and they're gonna back us up, and they get lots of pizza deliveries, and I guarantee you won't steal pizza from...
You know what, Grieper? I'm about ready to say I'm not taking any more phone calls until Eric Reed comes on at 3:30. I mean, is that what we want? It's okay. It's okay. You tell me what you want me to do, Robert. I'm at your disposal.
It's your prerogative.
We're a team here. You want me to take phone calls? I'll take them. People want to talk sports, I'll listen. If this nonsense continues, then I'll just sit here and talk to myself, or I'll do what the preview show does. I'll read out of the newspaper and waste your time. And then I'll just take Eric Reed's phone call at 3:30. We'll talk about the Heat. And then tomorrow, I may show up, I may not. It really depends on how I feel. Let's go to Sid. You're on WQAM. Sid?
Thanks for taking my call, Howard.
Yes, sir.
Don't let these guys call up, these fake callers, get you all worked up.
Well, you know what it is?
Show.
Hey, Sid, let me explain. What do you do for a living?
Truck driver.
All right. Somebody sat in your truck every day and just broke your shoes. But after a while, you'd throw them out, wouldn't you?
Shoot them.
I ain't going to get to that point, but the thought crossed my mind. Bottom line is, I come here to do a job. You want to upset my way of doing my job? Then you can kiss my ass. I don't really care.
Now that's gold right there.
Rectum. Did I hear that?
Oh, you heard it.
I'm not kissing that thing. At any rate. Well, I just didn't understand. Who's responsible? If I'm responsible for spinning off all of these calls, and that's always the story. It's always somebody else.
It's your fault.
I invented the crank call to talk shows. It's interesting from the very first day. 1976, almost 30 years.
About 30,
man. I came to this market and got crank calls the very first day. Here, my guest on KAT was Jacques Cousteau. Everybody, even you know Jacques Cousteau, right?
I do.
Right. Famous guy, lots of stories to tell, lots of interesting things to talk about. And he and we did a little interview for a while, and I opened up the phones, and here came, here came the mad, whatever we used to call him, Ken Block. And back in the day, I used to I wondered to myself, what is this all about? And then I realized, most people that call talk shows are morons in the first place. Now, we just had, before you found that masterful 5 minutes there, we took 5 or 6 calls. Were any of those really maybe one was on the borderline of being a real call?
Maybe.
One. Right on the edge. Not for real. And who cares? You're taking yourself too seriously, Mo. You're taking it too serious. Just relax, okay? Like he said, we get paid one way or the other. And as far as the previous show boring everybody by reading the newspaper, it must be a miracle that the audience tolerates us so much that we get these big numbers, huh? They must be all trained monkeys. They tune in just because I've manipulated them over the years and trained them to tune in and write it down in their diaries.
Those sophomore and high school callers.
Yeah. So I'm going to bore you all to death by reading the newspaper. How do you like that? I'm going to put you into a coma. Well, here's one for Shy. Israeli soldiers shot and critically wounded a 13-year-old Palestinian stone thrower during a raid in the West Bank today, Palestinian medics said. How do you like that? Palestinian kid, 13 years old, he's throwing stones. Bada bing! See, the Israelis, don't be throwing those stones at us. Shy.
Yes.
The shooting was the latest in the worst surge of violence since a truce was agreed 9 months ago. Truce my ass. 5,000 years these people have been killing each other. Is it ever going to change?
No.
They hate each other like poison. Because they have different headgear, and what would you rather have? Like a nice bowl of matzo ball soup or those falafels, for Christ's sakes? A nice hamantash and that purim, or would you rather have that, whatever they eat? I don't know what they eat. The only Arab food I know is falafel. Now, you must know some other, right?
Yeah, it's very similar food, actually.
Similar to what? Jewish food?
To Israeli food, yeah.
Like what?
Like baba ganoush, hummus, tahina.
Baba ganoush! No wonder they're killing each other. Holy cow. Baba ganoush my ass.
Now, what is that? Why don't you fill me in?
It's like mush.
Oof. It's salad made out of, eggplant and mayonnaise and stuff like that.
Oh, it's just all mushy, man. Don't you remember I used to talk about Baba ganoush when we had Balance for Life, which they had...
I've heard you talk about it.
Great food, but every now and then he would have that Baba ganoush, and man, oh, man.
Oof.
I'd rather dig up Babalu's grave than eat Baba ganoush, I'll tell you that right now. That was nasty stuff. Well, that's great that we found that segment from yesterday, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what the big simus was, okay? I didn't hear, now correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't hear any call that was I don't know, maybe it was the moon was in the wrong phase or something, you know? Maybe the bag was slipping off to the side. I don't know what the deal was, but I didn't hear any call that was would set me into a tizzy. Did you?
No, not only that, but maybe he should, concentrate his focus on the actual stealing the pizza part.
Are you starting in? Now, listen, now your ass is definitely going to be on the list to get fired. I'm telling you right now. You better watch. You just stepped way over the line, mister. You think George had Surus. George and the Beast and Zach and Carolyn and this one and that one and everybody else and Geldy. Now you have entered the fray.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you have entered the fray with that absolutely outrageous comment. Maybe the guy was hungry, okay? Maybe the guy thought that they were pizza thieves there in the kitchen, that they came in from outside. Maybe he thought they were drug dealers from Iversbury Road or something.
Why would he think that?
I don't know. Don't listen. If you know what's good for you, I'd zip my lip right now. He might come in there and punch you out before 2 o'clock.
I'd like to see that.
I'd love to see that. I might come back to witness it. And then, of course, he'd punch me in the mouth, too. Like I told you, it's Howard Punches the World in the Face. That's coming up at 2 this afternoon.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
Hey, Vixen the porno star.
Hey, how you doing?
What'll it be in this X-rated film? Guys or girls?
Both.
Are those breasts real or fake?
Both.
You want to have sex with Peter North or Ron Jeremy first?
Both.
Will you need $1,000 or $2,000 per scene?
Both.
Do you want cheese or meat on your pizza?
Both. I am a meat lover.
I'm in the mood for a hot slice of pie myself.
Pizza slut.
Because even sluts eat pizza.
It's 11 o'clock at 560 WQM. See what you started now?
What have I started now?
I don't know. Bunch of pizza stuff. Maybe you guys will get some pizzas today from like Jerry and Joe's.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to call Tony's.
How about calling Brad would be a good idea, Tony's.
That's right.
See, I got you stimulated for some free pizza there today. Now, listen, if you get a bunch of pizzas in there, be very careful. Keep your eye peeled on that door.
Don't worry.
See, that's really what he was all bent out of shape about. The other stuff was just window dressing. What really set the old Moe Meister off was the fact that I outed that story. And listen, it was all over the building. It was a funny story when you come right down to it. It was unacceptable. It was outrageous behavior. But it was funny. It was amusing.
Funniest story I've heard since I've been here.
Hysterical, you know. But he's just bent out of shape over the fact that we talk. As far as that ginger and faggot, and I don't know what that has to do with sports, or pipe smokers, or pink cigars, or any of this other stuff. What does that have to do with sports? What's the nickname for Hank? It's something in ginger. What is he calling Hank these days? Harriet and ginger, whatever the hell it is. What does that have to do with sports? But you go ahead and have a good time, okay, with all your phobic comments, and have a great time with it. Nobody gives a crap. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at this tag for nice going there, Berkeley. You're the best, honey. She is really doing it, if we ever figure out what. Now, speaking of Brownie Brown, before I get to all this local stuff about the hurricane, which I haven't forgotten about it.
I think he calls him Henrietta, by the way.
Henrietta and Ginger, there you go. Because we do the crossover there at 10 o'clock, so naturally we have to take some shots at the humper, okay? Henrietta and Ginger. That has a lot to do with sports, but I could care less. Have a great time. At my expense and everybody else's. It's a radio show, that's all. This isn't our life. If this is your life, I'll tell you right now, bada bing, time to say goodbye. Time for the dirt nap. It's just a radio show. I used to take it seriously, too, back in the days on WS News. And, I was going to change the world. And I was pontificating, and I was pounding on the desk, and I was giving lectures. I'm talking at that time, I was talking to people over the age of 100. I was a babysitter for ancient people at night. That's all I was. And I'm sitting there trying to change the world on the radio. It's a radio show. That's all. Nothing more. So just lighten up a little bit, a couple of shades, and cut the crap already. God. You know, granted, I understand it. If you take it seriously, because 90% of the people that call these shows are idiots. And especially on the heels of this hurricane and most people trying to put their life back together again, what kind of people have time now, the luxury of time, to be sitting on the phone for 15, 20 minutes, a half an hour, to call some stupid-ass talk show on the radio? Yeah, I shut the phones off for 7 months, and I'm pretty damn glad that I did, because now I've kind of created a combination of what I did during those 7 months, which was over the top, that was too much, and interspersing a few of these fabulous calls, like we already have today. Does it bother me?
No.
Is it going to change?
No.
Who cares? I don't give a crap. And if you say something over the line, we got 16 55-minute delay buttons here already, so it's not going to get on the air anyway. So what's the big simus, okay? You know, I really, it's sad. It really is. I'm probably the only one who feels this way. Because I did try. When a man first came into this market, and I remember Greg came into the studio, and he didn't show me the numbers, but he just showed me the signature on the contract. He was all excited, and I was excited. I got Howard David to do more. I was excited because the only thing I knew from Howard David was his work on Monday Night Football on the radio. I'd heard him for years, and I told you the story when Rick Weaver was forced to retire, and they had a box of audition tapes at WIOD, and they brought them to me, being the play-by-play expert that I am, and they had like 4 or 5 finalists that they brought to me, and Howard was one of them. We want you to take these home, Neil, listen to these, and see who you think we ought to hire. And I recommended Moe, and enthusiastically, because I thought he was a hell of a good play-by-play guy.
He is.
Yeah, there you go. So I recommended Moe. So I had no axe to grind with him. And, of course, they hired Bill Zimfer because he was good buddies with, not to knock him, but he was good buddies with, who was Wayne's henchman, that guy that with the bad suits, whatever his name was at left town. He was good buddies with him from Penn State. So he didn't get hired there. So when Greg showed me the contract, I thought to myself, yeah, here we go. This is going to be great. I never met the man personally. I didn't know anything about him other than the work I heard on the air. So I had no preconceived notions, okay? And from the very beginning of him taking himself too seriously and the lines about the checkered pants and the other stuff, taking all of this seriously and not understanding it's just a radio show. This is what we do, okay? This is the station. This is this show. This is this market. This is what we do. And just refusing to accept that. And then, of course, trying to get a whole bunch of people fired. You see, when somebody tries to get you fired and destroy your career that you've worked for almost 30 years in a market, you don't take that lightly, okay? When people are working behind the scenes to destroy you and get your producer fired and this one fired there, this is why people hate. I don't play those games. I don't want to see anybody get fired. I'm always pro-talent, anti-management, because in this business, management generally sucks. And the talent, most of them, get screwed over. But I don't need any critique of what I do on a show or like reading the newspaper, yada, yada, yada. And the funny part of it is, depending on which mood, which side of the body the bag is on each day, it's like, oh, I understand that those bits are very, very funny. They are funny. It doesn't bother me because they're funny, the Boca Brand stuff, which is funny.
It's fantastic.
We made a character. We made 2 characters, Moe and Billy, which are like a spin-off on those 2 guys, on 2 real people, and they're 1,000 times funnier than either one of them will ever be.
That's true.
So there you go, Moe. It's a radio show. And I still, even after trying to get me destroyed, and he admitted that to my face, plus the thing about George, I still tried to find something decent there. How many times have you heard me say
about 30, man?
That in the midst of all the anger and the hostility and the surliness, I still find like a twinkle in the eye, like a little something there, you know? Or at least I try to find it. But it just doesn't ever, it doesn't go on. It might be there for like 5 minutes, and then it disappears. Like that day that we had that he forced that great détente when I was at the station in the parking lot, and that lasted till about 8:30 the next morning when he came in and started screaming about the beast and that little piece of crap. If he thinks I'm going to make up with him, and I thought to myself, what is wrong with you? Will you ever grow up? Will you stop fighting the whole world? Just stop already. Just do your thing. Take the callers for what they are. They're a bunch mostly of idiots, and just take like you said, take the check. Take the check. God. The guy comes back. He had 2 pretty damn good numbers there in the last book, in the summer book, which we talked about. Didn't we? Didn't we talk about that at length? Nice going, Moe?
We
did I say
yes.
that? I don't make up numbers. Did a good job in there. So just keep doing it. If the callers suck, just ramble on, baby. That's all.
Absolutely.
But, of course, it's always the show that precedes. Who's responsible? Whose fault is it that the calls we got in the first hour here today? Who can I blame that on? I don't blame it on anybody. That's just who's out there, okay? That's the kind of people that call radio talk shows.
That's got to be Shy's fault.
It must be Shy's fault. He's not usually there. He's here today. We get prank calls.
There you go. It's me.
You Israeli bastard. Yeah, that must have something to do with it. These people must be anti-Semitic. That must be it. The dog done it. Forget about it, okay? What am I wasting my time for, you know? What am I wasting my time? Lawmaker, before I get into any of the stuff about the hurricane, I got more stuff from the newspaper to read. See, and this is another interesting thing. The last week and a half, I know this comes as a great shock, but last week and a half, a lot of people aren't getting their newspapers. A lot of people don't have power, so they don't have their TV. They don't have their internets. They have no clue what the hell's going on, including especially with the hurricane-related stuff and elsewhere in the world. So the fact that I have been passing along this information, guess what? It has nothing to do with sports, but it might actually be some useful crap. How do you like that? It might actually be useful to some people. Anyway, we'll get into that reading from the newspaper in a minute. Former FEMA director Michael Mickey Brownie, who resigned after stinging criticism of his handling of the aftermath of Katrina, exchanged emails about his appearance on the day of the storm and seemed out of touch after Katrina hit the Gulf Coast. A Louisiana congressman charged yesterday as if this is some big surprise. In the midst of the overwhelming damage caused by the hurricane and enormous problems faced by FEMA, Mr. Brown found time to exchange emails about superfluous topics, including problems finding a dog sitter, according to Representative Charlie Melanson, Democrat of Louisiana, is that Maricon, who posted the emails on his website. Some of the emails from Brown indicate he may have been overwhelmed by his responsibilities, Melanson said. In an email he sent the morning of the hurricane to Cindy Taylor, FEMA's Deputy Director of Public Affairs, Brown wrote, "Can I quit now? Can I come home?" A few days later, Brown wrote to an acquaintance, "I'm trapped now. Please rescue me." Melonstone, whose district south of New Orleans was devastated by the hurricane, said Brown's lack of leadership and concern is illustrated more than 1,000 emails provided to White House committee now assessing responses to the disaster by all levels of government. Melanson said that on August 26, just days before Katrina made landfall, Brown emailed his press secretary, Sharon Worthy, about his attire, asking, "Tie or not for tonight? Button-down blue shirt?" ? A few days later, Worthy advised Brown, "Please roll up the sleeves of your shirt, all shirts." Even the president rolled his sleeves up to just below the elbow. In this crisis on TV, you need to look more hardworking. On August 29th, the day of the storm, Brown exchanged emails about his attire with Taylor. Melanson said, "She told him, 'You look fabulous,' and Brown replied, 'I got it at Nordstrom's. Are you proud of me?' This is while people were dying, by the way. An hour later, Brown added, 'If you look at my lovely FEMA attire, you'll really vomit. I'm a fashion god,' according to the congressman. The emails came from Homeland Security Director Mickey Chertoff, who oversees FEMA, following a request by Melanson and Representative Tom Davis, Republican of Virginia, chairman of a House committee, appointed to investigate what went wrong during Katrina. Although Chertoff has not turned over all the documents requested by the committee, Melanson charged that the material received so far contradicts testimony by Brown before the committee in which he described himself as an effective leader. Brown couldn't be reached comment for Wednesday night on the emails. The lawmaker cited several emails that he said show Brown's failures. For instance, 2 days after Katrina, Marty Bahamonde, one of the only FEMA employees in New Orleans, wrote to Brown, "The situation is past critical. Here are some things you might not know. Hotels are kicking people out, thousands gathering in the streets with no food or water, hundreds still being rescued from homes," Bahamonde said. "The dying patients at the Disaster Medical Assistance Team tent being medevaced. Estimates are many will die within hours. Evacuation in process. Plans developing for Superdome evacuation, but hotel situation adding to problem. We're out of food and running water at the dome. Plans and work to address the critical need. FEMA staff is okay in holding its own. DMAT staff working in deplorable conditions. The sooner we can get the medical patients out, the sooner we'll get them out. Phone connectivity impossible." Brown's entire response was, "Thanks for the update. Anything specific I need to do or tweak?" 2 days later, on September the 2nd, Brown received a message with the subject, "Medical help." At the time, thousands of patients were being transported to the New Orleans airport, which had been converted to a makeshift hospital. Because of a lack of ventilators, medical personnel had to ventilate patients by hand for as long as 35 hours, according to Melanson. The text of the emails reads, "Mike, Mickey, and other medical equipment people have a 42-foot trailer full of beds, wheelchairs, oxygen concentrators, etc. They're wanting to take them where they can be used but need direction. Mickey specializes in ventilator patients, so can be very helpful with acute care patients. If you could have someone contact him and let him know if you can be of service, he'd appreciate it. Know you're busy, but they really want to help." Melanson said Brown didn't respond for 4 days when he forwarded the original email to FEMA Deputy Chief of Staff Brooks Altschulte and Deputy Director of Response Michael Lauder. The text of Brown's email to them read, "Can we use these people?" Melanson also charged that few of the emails from Brown show him assigning specific tasks to employees or responding to pressing problems. On September 1st, FEMA officials exchanged emails reporting severe shortages of ice and water in Mississippi. They were to receive 60 trucks of ice and 26 trucks of water the next day, even though they needed 450 trucks of each. Robert Fenton, a FEMA regional response official, predicted serious riots if insufficient supplies arrived. Brown was forwarded these series of emails about the problem, but no response from him is shown in the emails provided to the committee. Attaboy, you're doing a heck of a job, Mikey. Brownie.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Like nothing you've seen before.
Excuse me, esteemed father.
What is it, my child?
I have something I must tell you.
What is it, my daughter?
Oh, father, I am afraid to tell you.
Afraid to tell me, your own father?
I fear I will bring shame upon our family.
Nonsense. I am your father. I love you very much. You must tell me what is wrong.
You promise you will still love me?
Of course, my sweet child. A father's love is not erased by a simple misdeed.
Very well. I am pregnant.
Oh, I see.
Do you still love me, Father?
Of course I do. But since you're pregnant and not married...
Yes, Father?
I'm afraid I must drag you down to the town square and, with the help of my friends and neighbors, stone you to death. Yes, my daughter, it is written that this is the punishment for what you have done.
Could you check again, Father? But I should only be grounded.
No, grounding does not work. I must have you stoned.
It's the first soap opera that focuses on a fundamentalist Middle Eastern family.
May I speak with you, my esteemed husband?
What is it, my wife?
Oh, I have something to tell you.
I'm listening.
I am having an affair.
Oh, I see.
Where are you going?
Oh, out to the backyard to collect some stones.
Oh, do you mean...
Yes, I must drag you to the town square, where you will, of course, be stoned to death.
You'll be mesmerized as you follow the lives of the Ahmed family and how they deal with the many problems that plague them.
Oh, may I speak with you, my esteemed father?
Yes, my son.
Oh, Father, last night I used illegal drugs.
Well, what do you know? You are one lucky boy.
Oh, why is that, Father?
You are going to get stoned 2 nights in a row.
You won't want to miss the guiding Shiite. The guiding Shiite is shot on location in Baghdad, Iraq.
11:18 at 560 WQAM. And as a matter of fact, just one footnote, since you're the one that's really pressing it today. You're like pushing heavy duty on this Moe stuff.
Yeah, Shy.
Josh. No, not Shy. You. Don't blame it on Shy. Okay, he's already disassociated himself from that regime. But when we had this big purge, when all this stuff changed over, when the Stern thing blew up in their face and they were like trying to put a lineup back together again, and they put Hank in the morning, and there was that gap in there, you know, when they finally nailed down Mad Dog to do 4 to 7, and there was that 2-hour gap between 2 and 4, and it was narrowed down to like between Defo and the Moe Meister, okay, and I was asked, and I said, Moe, how do you like that? So that's twice, even before I knew him, I was promoting him for Dolphin play-by-play. And now in this case, even after all the other crap that had gone down, after all the attempt to get people fired and destroy their careers, I still was saying, they put Moe on, okay, for 2 hours, and they did. Now, do I have any regrets? Well, at any rate. It's a radio show, okay? It's business. It's the radio business. It's not monkey business. It's radio business, okay? Don't take it so serious. Take the check to the bank, play a lot of golf, enjoy your life in paradise, and that's it. And as far as ego is concerned, I've said it for many, many years now. When you work in this market, you can't have any ego. Because every day is a new day. What are you going to do for me today, Neil? Well, we heard that last week. We heard you do that poll once before. What are you going to do for us today? That's the market, okay? That's just the way it is. In fact, if he were smart, now the last 3 days he did a show in New York, right?
Right.
Have him build you a studio in your home right there in Boca. Then you won't have to schlep that drive down every day. And you won't have to interact with these people who, you know, hate each other. Everybody hates whoever hates. Wouldn't that be a great idea?
Yeah.
Have him do the show right from his house. You can sit there with your bag pulsating and your slippers and the whole deal and the checkered pants or not. I'm sitting here in my underwear this morning. How do you like that? That's all. Boxer shorts. Nothing else. Not even socks. A disgusting thought. Well, speaking of disgusting, you know, I really do need to get to this hurricane stuff, but tempers cooled a bit in Washington after the partisan meltdown that brought Senate business to a halt Tuesday. So, even so, neither Congress nor the White House will find much in a new CBS News poll to put them in a better humor. This is the CBS News poll. President Bush's job approval has reached the lowest level ever yet. Only 35% approve of the job he's doing, and only 34% approve of Congress's job. Bush, 35% approve, 57% disapprove. Vice President Cheney's never been as popular as the president, but his favorable rating is down 9 points. He's 19%. 19%! Even Joel Feinberg could top that, I think. Well, maybe not.
Oh!
No, he's still stuck in the O's. I mean, when your popularity rating is 19%, you got really bad service, baby. Let's see. Here's a fax from somebody who's obviously agitated. It says, the whole neighborhood has power except me. FP&L blows. And then it's got this is pretty interesting artwork here. Did you draw this or what?
No, I wish. That's good stuff.
Because
I just had to pass it along.
That's got to be an inside job, because the drawing of Moe eating the pizza, that's him, man. It's got the bald head and the little goatee there. That's him. How do they know? It's got to be inside. At any rate, it shows a chef saying, he's got an open pizza box with just one little piece of crust inside. It says, "Holy Cazzoli, who stole my pizzas?" That's what it says. Who stole my pizzas? And below there's a picture of somebody familiar who's got 2 slices, one in each hand. He's going, like that. That's cute. You see what I mean? Lighten up a little bit. Have some fun with it. The world's not going to come to an end because you lifted some guy's pizza, okay? Just relax. Man, oh, man. Just, take off from that nice summer book and let's move on from there. We got competition that's as stiff as a cardboard box. Let's move on from there and let's do it. And if you want to do your Fagadorn and Ginger and Henrietta and whatever you like, have a good time, that's all. I'm not going to get all bent out of shape. My life is good. I'm a happy camper. Saturday morning early, I'll be out there at Woodbine plunging my guts out. What's not to like? The sun is shining. We got like a little Indian summer here. What's not to like? Always look on the bright side, okay? Stop being a sour puss. Okay, now let's get to the important stuff, okay? Muy importante.
Okay.
Well, I feel like I need to do this because, I know it's boring reading out of the newspaper, and who the hell would listen to a show like this anyway?
Yeah, right.
The number of homes broken by Wilma swelled yesterday as state officials blamed an older building code for the severe damage to Broward County apartment complexes, mobile homes, and businesses. State officials have surveyed Wilma's damage in South Florida, said the major problems were in structures built before Hurricane Andrew sparked tougher codes. Old buildings, because that's, 92? 82, right? That's 23 years ago. Hurricane Andrew was 92, right? Or 82?
Yeah. No, 92.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it definitely was.
92?
Yeah.
13 years ago, like I said. Who the hell can keep track? You're right. The damage was in older and weaker buildings, said Rick Dixon, executive director of the Florida Building Commission in Tallahassee. See, that's what happens when you get to be 100 years old. I mean, you've lived so long, who can keep any date straight? Although Saturday might be my birthday, I think. Isn't that what you said?
Yeah.
Remember, this is the first time the area's been directly hit in some time. They'll have to be redone to meet the new standards, said Rick. South Florida revamped its building standards after Hurricane Andrew devastated portions of Dade County in 1992, like I said. Broward emergency management officials said yesterday that so far there were 1,344 structures red-tagged or deemed unsafe because of damage caused by Wilma. However, a Sun Sentinel survey of local building departments showed the number of unsafe buildings as at least 2,323. That includes apartment complexes that may have multiple residences. Mobile homes make up 1,629 of the ruined residences. There were at least 49, almost 5,000 individual homes, mobile homes and condo units, and rental apartments that shouldn't be occupied because they were damaged by Wilma. So they're like, and they're still counting, just like in New Orleans, they're still counting and tabulating and palpitating and stuff like that. Even the traffic signals, it's going to cost $20 million. Now, as you guys are coming to work, how are we doing on the traffic signals?
Not too bad. I'd say 70% of them are good.
Wow, that's quite a shock. And Shai, where do you live?
Sunny Isles Beach.
Oh, Little Israel.
You got it.
And how about the lights? Well, Sunny Isles Beach, you should have no problem because the power's back on the beach right from the get-go.
Yeah, we got power back like 2 days later.
Yeah. Somebody must be pulling some long strings over there. Hurricane Wilma has left quite a legacy. Powerless tri-rail trains, a blacked-out control tower, and a damaged system of traffic lights that'll cost $20 million to replace in Broward County alone. And George still doesn't have power, and he's really PO'd about it. He's sick, his family is sick, and he's foaming at the mouth. See, that's the kind of stuff to worry about. That's the kind of stuff to get pissed off about. When you have no power, you're running a generator, everybody in the household is sick, nobody's bringing by any pizzas to hop. Wilma was also to blame for eastbound ramps on 595 being closed from 10 to 11 o'clock yesterday morning. Troopers closed the ramps to keep traffic light for a caravan. Oh, to keep traffic light. See, that's interesting the way this is written. Keep traffic light for a caravan of 150 power trucks heading east from Naples to Miami, said Karen Vasipo, spokesman for Florida Power and Loot. Another caravan of 200 trucks expected to cause similar delays this morning, and maybe already did, probably. On Tuesday night, traffic controllers were forced to use handheld radios when power went out at Fort Lauderdale Airport, and a circuit breaker failed to turn on a backup generator. Power was restored more than an hour later at 7:45, but some flights were canceled, others diverted to Miami International and Palm Beach International. What a mess. Tri-rail trains have been rendered useless since the storm hit October 24, knocking out power along all 72 miles of track from Miami to Magnolia Park in Palm Beach County. Electrical outages are the main obstacle to running the trains, with up to 40 miles of track still without power yesterday, said Bonnie Arnold, spokesman for the South Florida Regional Transportation Authority. Tri-rail may resume as early as next week, Arnold said. The trains are fueled, and as soon as it's safe to operate, will be back up and running. Before Wilma hit, tri-rail stations were not on the priority list for power restoration. Now they are, because there's a need to have them restored as soon as possible. Meanwhile, 36 crews of up to 4 men each were working to repair and replace most of the county's 1,350 traffic signals damaged by the storm. The work will likely take several months, and cost $20 million. As of Wednesday, well, this sure flies in the face of the story that you're giving me. As of Wednesday, 260 traffic signals working again, and lights have been restored at 75 of the county's 85 busiest intersections. So you must be only driving through the busy intersections.
Pretty much.
Because there's 1,350 traffic signals in Broward and only 260 back on again. So just stay on the main highway. That's
This is Neil Rogers.
Wherever else you're going, don't go there.
This is 560 QAM.
Moving on up, gas is so high, the cars have gone right up the sky. Moving on up, gas is so high, and there ain't no relief in sight. Before I go to the station, I gotta ride me a bank. Takes a lot of death.
11:32, 28 till noon at 560 WQAM, and we got 499 votes on the poll. The next one will be the 500th vote. You could be the lucky winner of a whole bunch of stuff. Not. We got nothing to give away. Yeah, like those tickets, those mushy tickets in an envelope. And probably the envelope's mushy, too. Just a bunch of pulp. We'll send you a handful of pulp. 400, it's fiction. 499. Who do you wish had become president in our past? Al Gore, 153. Bobby Kennedy, 126. Oh, how we wish 1968, before some of you punks were born. Boy, what a difference that would have made. I guarantee you, we not only wouldn't have had no more Nixon, we would have had no Bush. 1 or 2 or 3. Bobby Kennedy, 126. John McCain, 68. John Kerry, 46. He's making a little bit of a move, not much. Mario Cuomo, who's got all the right connections, he's got 21. Ted Kennedy, 18. Adlai Stevenson, 12. George McGovern, 11. Hubert Humphrey, 11. Humpty Dumpty. Nelson Rockefeller, 8. And Michael Dukakis has got only 5, which I think that's the number of votes he got in that election, too. 501. We're over 500 votes. That's interesting because our goal today was like 510, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
For the entire 4 hours. And by the way, for those Beast fans, Shy's going to be just hanging around in there because there's no... Did any food show up or what?
Oh, I called Tony's. It'll be here when it's here.
Oh. So like I said, Shy will hang around till after the food is eaten. Don't steal any pizza now, by the way. I hope that your mentor didn't teach you those kind of tricks.
What was that?
And then, of course, we got the Beast coming in there. Uh-oh, so like I said, you better eat all you want before noon. Because if there's food around... You know, it was great when we had the Beast on Balance for Life. The only problem was, instead of replacing the regular food he ate with Balance for Life, he was eating in addition to. See what I'm saying? He didn't understand that was supposed to be the food for the whole day.
That's not going to work too well.
No. So he was eating the Balance for Life meals on top of the 6,200 calories he was already eating on his growing young boy's meal. Well, his folks have got a lot of money. Why not eat? You know, they take him on those cruises. They're killing him. They're killing him with kindness, shoveling the food down his fat face. They're killing him. They're killing you, Beast, which is really a shame because he's got a nice girlfriend and the whole deal, hasn't he?
Beyonce.
That is really shocking. Who would have thunk it, huh? Now, does she go to that school for the blind, or what is the deal there? No, actually, I hear she's...
no, she's a teacher, I believe.
She's a teacher. Maybe she can teach him some new tricks. Because I know Clarence tried and he gave up. Here's a story that'll put a smile on your face. Okay, I'm trying to intersperse a few things in the middle of all this other heavy-duty stuff. Oh, first some bad news, though. It wouldn't make any difference if George was there because he wouldn't know this guy either. Skitch Henderson died, and they're all going, who? Oh, no. Skitch Henderson died, the Grammy-winning conductor who would lend his musical expertise to Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby before founding the New York Pops and becoming the first Tonight Show band leader, died Tuesday. He was 87. That's old enough. Wouldn't you say 87's old enough?
Yeah, that's good.
Unless, of course, you're 86. Oh. Then you're thinking, well, maybe 89 doesn't sound too bad. Henderson died at his home in New Milford of natural causes, said Barbara Burnside, spokeswoman for New Milford Hospital. Born in England, I never knew that. His real name was Lyle Russell Cedric Henderson. Moved to the U.S. in the 30s. What is it?
About 30 minutes.
Eking out a living as a pianist, playing vaudeville and movie music in Minnesota and Montana roadhouses. He got his big break in 1937 when he filled in for a sick pianist, touring with Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney. When the tour wrapped up in Chicago, he used the original pianist tickets and went to Hollywood. There he joined the music department at MGM and played piano for Bob Hope's The Pepsodent Show. His friendship with Hope put him in touch with other stars of the day, including Crosby, who became a mentor to Henderson. And it goes on and on. He did this, he did it, bada-beep, bada-boop. He served as musical director for the Lucky Strike Show on radio, the Philco Hour with Bing Crosby. When NBC moved to TV, the studio brought Henderson along as musical director, including band leader for Steve Allen's Tonight Show, and on it goes. Skitch Henderson, dead at 87. Does anybody under the age of 100 know who that is?
No.
Well, it killed some time. But here's a story that'll put a smile on your face. You know about O.J.?
Yeah, well, I put up the article.
Oh, well, that's right. You know, but what about Shy? You know about O.J.'s latest problem?
He's looking for the killers, right?
No, even more important than that. Well, he doesn't have time right now. He's got to pay. How's he going to make that $33,000? A federal judge ordered former football star O.J. Simpson to pay more than $33,000 in attorney's fees for DirecTV 2 months after he was ordered to pay for pirating satellite TV signals from the California-based company. You go, O.J., you murdering piece of crap, you. In a raid on Simpson's Miami home in 2001, federal agents seized illegal devices known as bootloaders that authorities said were used to steal TV programming. After granting a motion for summary judgment in a civil suit filed against Simpson, a federal judge in August ordered him to pay $25,000 in damages. U.S. District Judge Theodore Klein ordered Simpson last week to pay $33,678.42 in attorney's fees and costs. This is part of the continuing litigation process. Of course, Mr. Simpson objects and fully intends to preserve his rights at the appellate level, his attorney Yale Galanter said Wednesday. Yale Yenta Galanter. Simpson moved to Florida from California, yada, 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 but he had to escape liens on his income. That's why he moved to Florida. And, of course, he owes a civil suit. He owes $33.5 million to the Goldmans and the Browns, et cetera, and so on. In fact, maybe the 42 cents that was at the end of the other numbers, he might have paid them, but not even that. Nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. How do you like that? How are those missing girls in Chatsworth, California coming? We find them yet or what? Isn't that what we're all concerned about?
That's right, I'm whipped up.
What a bunch of crazy bastards, you people in the media. Let me say it again. If even this bitch with all that makeup on could tell.
The media is sick and needs help badly.
You are crazy people, and they're all whipped up. Last night I'm channel surfing, and so one of my stops is CNN in case maybe the world is coming to an end or something I need to know. And there's Rick Sanchez and Kira Phillips, two of my least favorite people in the world. Although compared to Kira Phillips, I love Rick Sanchez. That's how much I hate that bitch. And I'm thinking, it's like 10:15. Where's Aaron Brown? Where's whiny Aaron with that bad red muskrat? He makes Moe's muskrat look good. See, and that's another thing, Mo. If our stories about the muskrat were so bad, how come you dumped it? He even got rid of that Martha Washington wig he used to wear. And the muskrat. Both of them. Am I right?
Yeah, I will say he looks better without the rat.
He looks a hell of a lot better, and I'm the one that butched him up on it. See, you ungrateful piece of turd, you. Why don't you realize I've been trying to help you all this time? I've been trying to put you on the map with important things like... And I've succeeded, obviously, in the last book. If that's what it takes, grin and bear it. Just like your bald head. Like mine, too, man. I'm loving it. Oh, I have to shave mine. He doesn't have to do that. Now, what was I just saying that was so important before I got sidetracked on that muskrat thing again? About O.J.
Right.
What was it?
You were talking about the 33 towel that he owes.
Yeah, there was something else in there. You see, you weren't paying tight enough close attention.
That's because I'm reading this fact right here.
And what does it say?
Don't worry, it's not a very good one. I wasted my time.
Oh, it's not a very good one? That's unusual. You mean like some of those calls we took before? We will take a lot more calls today, by the way, and we hope they're equally as good as the ones we had in the first hour. Or better.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
They put the lemon in the Pepsi and they took it back out. They put the lemon in the Pepsi, but it's not there anymore. They put the lemon in the Pepsi and they took it back out. They put the lemon in the Pepsi and we raised me when they took it out. I said, Mommy, I don't like it with the lime. I said, Mommy, I feel a lot less like the woman. Mommy, yeah, I haven't felt this sad, Mommy, since they discontinued tab. They put the lemon in the Pepsi and they took it all away. They put the lime in the Pepsi, but it doesn't taste the same. I used to drink lemon Pepsi with my thing between my legs, and I would hobble in my heel and twinkle down, and I would rain. Mommy! I figure like this. Maybe Dr. Pepper would be better. Mommy. Dr. Pepper. That I'd be a pepper too. Doctor. Busy shoot to get me busy. Mommy. Doctor. I cannot find a movie break. Sometimes I wish I was straight. They put the lemon in the Pepsi, but they took it all away.
17 to noon at 560 WQM. An advisory issued by the Broward County Health Department is warning people don't swim in the water at beaches from Deerfield Beach south to Hallandale until appropriate testing of the water is completed. Swimming at the city of Fort Lauderdale beach is prohibited until further notice. Lifeguards remain on duty at the beach, but just don't go in the water, okay? Don't go in the water from Deerfield Beach south to Hallandale.
Just hang out on the sand.
Patron at a strip club near West Palm Beach was shot and wounded early today. At a strip club, no less, during a parking lot quarrel with another customer. Probably God's punishment for going to such a place of ill repute.
That's right.
The 23-year-old man, who was not identified by police, was in stable condition at a local hospital after being shot once in the upper body. Police said the two had been inside Cheetah's, a strip club at 3342 Shawnee Avenue near West Palm Beach, when the victim lent his cell phone to another man. The other man reportedly stole a computer chip from inside the phone before returning it, resulting in an argument. I can't imagine why. Police said the shooting occurred when they stepped outside into the parking lot. Police say they took their business outside. Police didn't release the identity of the gunman, who was described as a regular at the club. He was last seen driving away in a gold four-door Saturn car. Well, there you go. Go get him. And get that phone back, too, while you're at it. Get that chip. The water in Fort Lauderdale is safe to drink. Oh! Finally, it says. Are you reading the newspaper again? Yes, I am. Hot damn. Yes, I am. State Health Department officials allowed the city to lift its boil water notice yesterday afternoon. The 10th-day residents endured it. The order had a trickle-down effect. Some businesses had to remain closed. Residents worried what kinds of bacteria they might have been exposed to. They also wanted to know why their city was among the last to drop the tedious odor, which requires that water be boiled before it's safe for consumption. What are we being exposed to? Resident Sam Scrency asked Wednesday after several calls to City Hall turned up little information. Nobody knows what's going on, and I have to bathe little babies tonight. Wonder whose they are. City officials said falling trees caused pipes in the water system to pop down all over town, dragging the water to pop, not pop down. They popped. Got it? Dragging the water pressure to a dangerous low for the county's largest water utility, finding the water breaks and resurrecting the pressure was a job that took days and a team of 300 employees. The joke was, if the water was underground, how could you have a break in the water line? It wasn't an earthquake, it was a hurricane, but it was the trees. The trees pulled up the lines. The city's water status affected scores of people served by Fort Lauderdale. At any rate, all the water utilities in Broward have dropped their warnings. The water is now safe to drink, okay? You got it?
Hallelujah.
In Broward. Drink it. Just chug it down, about a gallonful. Open the tap and drink that crap. You drink water out of the tap?
No.
Shy? It's trafe. Don't do it. It's trafe. Gary Sarner warned me. Don't drink the tap water. It's got, like, pork rinds in it. Broward County says don't cancel those holiday plans yet. Broward County School Superintendent Frank Till said it's a glacier plot like everything else. Broward, so you'll rot in hell. That's what they want for the Jews, rot in hell. When Jesus comes back, you're all going to hell. Ah! Broward County School Superintendent Frank Till said Wednesday he'll try to keep winter and spring breaks, the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, and the last day of classes is scheduled, even though hurricanes have erased 13 days from the school calendar. We have enough extra days built into our schedule to perhaps pull it off, Till said. To keep from adding days, school officials and the Broward Teachers Union are mulling whether to hold classes during the district's 4 remaining teacher planning days. They could also extend these 4 remaining early release days, add time to regularly scheduled classes. See, teacher planning days, they usually do those on the Jew holidays. So they don't want to say, oh, we're letting the kids off for Yom Kippur because, then it seems like, there's only like 10 Jews in the class, There's only 2 Jews in that class. They don't want to do that. So they say, oh, it's the teacher's planning day. If it's a Goyish holiday like Easter or something, oh, everybody gets off. No problem. They're proud of that. See the way we get discriminated against, Shy?
Telling you, it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, it's a Goyish conspiracy. That's what Robert Grieper said. But what does he know, that right-wing, self-hating piece of turd? The Florida Department of Education has also agreed not to hold South Florida schools to the traditional 180-day term for public schools. Most likely, Till said, the fall semester now will end after winter break. And if they have school on Pesach, man, if they cancel the Teacher's Day, and especially on Purim, when the kids better be running around eating their Hamantashen, and don't eat those stale little hard ones either. Eat the nice big poppy ones, man, with the poppies inside, not the prunes. Don't eat the prune filling. God only knows. 56705, and also in Palm Beach County. Now, schools are reopened in Dade today, thanks God. But Broward, Monday at the earliest, and Palm Beach says Monday at the earliest. Classes won't resume Monday in Palm Beach County before Monday. That will make a 2-week disruption for the hurricane. Superintendent Art Johnson said schools can't reopen today or Friday because of lingering power outages at 14 schools and hundreds of intersections that are still without traffic signals. A trial run of 5 school bus routes Wednesday morning showed that students would be hours late to class if schools reopen today or tomorrow. That's because the signal outages and accounting for an extra 90,000 vehicles on the roads when schools are in session. We can't run statewide a quality educational program with the kind of late arrivals we had today, Johnson told senior state officials Wednesday afternoon. Clearly the test this morning was not a good one. Other concerns with opening schools this week are having students stand at bus stops for hours and sidewalks blocked by debris. So they're covering their ass real good, and they're taking care of the kids, allegedly, and everything will be just fine. And what about the churches and shuls, for example? Speaking of all this holiday stuff, what about that? We had no listing of churches and shuls open, and mosques.
Well, they never stop praising the Lord.
Well, that's not the point. If they don't have a house of worship to go to, like get on their knees and do all that Getchke specialty stuff, then they're probably going to burn in hell.
Where would they get the body of Christ?
And we're going to be responsible for it if we don't pass along that good information, even though we might be reading it from the freaking newspaper.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. See, I know this might come as a shock to some people, but other than the internets and the online newspapers and online TV stuff and stuff like that, where would you get information, right?
Right.
If you don't have any power. You can turn on CNN.
Things will change.
But they got stupid-ass Ted Turner on there now talking a bunch of crap. With Soledad. Well, Soledad. I got the story that'll knock your socks off, baby. In fact, I got 2 stories about that wicked weed.
All right.
You ready for this? Did you see this from Denver? In the U.S., eh? No less in the U.S. And I would hardly say that Colorado is what you call your bastion of raving liberalism, including Denver, but nevertheless, residents of the mile-high city of Denver have voted to legalize the possession of small amounts of marijuana for adults. Authorities, though, said state possession laws will be applied instead. And if we don't use the state ones, we'll use the federal ones, and the feds will come in and nail your ass to the door like a chicken, like a mezuzah on the doorframe. With 100% of precincts reporting early yesterday, 54% cast ballots for the ordinance, only 46% against it. Under the measure, residents over 21 years old could possess up to an ounce of marijuana.
Oh, my God.
In Denver. How do you like that? Huh? Everybody moving yet or what? You don't have to move. Just come on up here. Just come visit up here. Light up take the Toronto sun, which is all it's good for, roll up a big fat one, and have a good time.
Well, it is called the Mile-High City for a reason, right?
That's for damn sure. See, leave it to Shy. He's sitting back there on his ass doing nothing, waiting for the pizza to show up, and he throws in a line. And God only knows if the governor's daughter's around, she'll probably snort it. We educated voters about the fact that marijuana is less harmful to the user and society than alcohol. How do you like that? Which we all know for a long time, said Mason Tvert. How do you say that? T-V-E-R-T. Mason Tvert, campaign organizer for Safer Alternatives for Enjoyable Recreation. To prohibit adults from making the rational, safer choice to use marijuana is bad public policy, he said, and he is
Absolutely correct.
idiotic. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. Bruce Merkin of the Washington, D.C.-based Marijuana Policy Project said he hoped the approval will launch a national trend toward legalizing a drug whose enforcement, he said, causes more problems than it cures. How about that 23-year-old kid that's dead now because he had that scale, that drug dealer in Broward? Remember that? The SWAT team came in and blew his crap away? And the SWAT team guy called his show. Yeah, bad guy. Dangerous. Seattle, Oakland, California, and a few college towns already have laws making possession the lowest law enforcement priority. The Denver proposal seemed to draw at least as much attention for supporters' campaign tactics as it did for the question of legalizing the drug. Tvert argued that legalizing marijuana would reduce consumption of alcohol, which he says leads to higher rates of car accidents, domestic and street violence, and crime. The group criticized Mayor John Hickenlooper for opposing the proposal, noting his ownership of a popular brew pub. Aha! See, there's always a chigger in a woodpile, a popular brew pub. He's got a vested interest there, a conflict of interest. Fire his ass. It also said recent violent crimes, including the shootings of 4 people last weekend, is a reason to legalize marijuana to steer people away from using the booze. Don't use it to booze, man. Just smoke a big fat one. You won't see too many people getting all crazed up and drunk and stoned so bad they go up shooting people up. Those tactics angered local officials and some voters. Opponents also said it made no sense to prevent prosecution by Denver authorities, while marijuana charges are most often filed under state and federal law. The measure would not affect the medical marijuana law voters approved in 2000. In June, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that medical marijuana laws in Colorado and 9 other states would not protect licensed users from federal prosecution. The DEA, they're going to come in and get your ass. Also, Tuesday, voters in the ski resort of Telluride, T-E-L-L-U-R-I-D, never heard of it, did you? No. Telluride rejected a proposal to make possession of an ounce or less of marijuana by people 18 or older the town's lowest law enforcement priority. The measure was rejected. Oh, what a big town. 640 votes. It was rejected 308 for, 332 again. How do you like that? And I bet you some of those people voted twice on the again side. Now, on the heels of that story, wait till you hear this one.
Okay.
It has to do with the same topic. The son of Miami Police Chief John Timoney, I really don't know how you say his name. Timoney?
That sounds good to me.
Huh? Timoney?
Yeah, sounds right.
Like Timothy?
Sure.
Chief John Timoney has been arrested, his son, by federal agents in New York for allegedly trying to purchase 100 pounds of marijuana. 100 pounds, not an ounce. Not a pound, 100 pounds, Channel 4 reported yesterday. Sean Timoney, 37, of Brooklyn, was arrested in Westchester County Tuesday night. It doesn't sound like a Jewish name to me. He was scheduled to be arraigned today in federal court in Albany. Oh, you don't want to be in Albany. I'll tell you that. That's a fate worse than death. The only thing worse than that is to be in Schenectady or Troy. Details are sketchy, but federal officials expected to reveal more details at a press conference. Chief Timoney said through a spokesman he was aware of the arrest but declined to comment, calling it a personal matter. Yeah, right. I'll guarantee if the Miami police arrested some schmuck out there, some anonymous schmuck trying to buy 100 pounds of pot, I'll guarantee you that it'd be all over the front pages of the newspaper.
Yeah, and he'd have a lot of comments.
Yeah, he'd have plenty of comments like, see, we're getting all these slime balls off the streets. But when his son tries to buy 100 pounds of pot, alleged, John Timoney became Miami's police chief in March 2003. He and his wife, Noreen, also have a grown daughter. It's just like your fat-ass governor, the same thing. Anybody else gets their ass in a ringer, right away he's got to open up a big mouth, like sticking his nose into Terry and her, that stuff. But when his son gets arrested for a drunken incident, or when his daughter is like snorting it up, it's a personal family matter. We don't discuss such things. Right. You hypocrite, you phony, you idiot, Jeb. You fair. Yeah, you fat-ass phony. And thanks for the low gas prices, you and your criminal brother. One thing about that family, man, it's the criminal gang. They make Bonnie and Clyde look like Boy Scouts and Cub Scouts and Girl Scouts. Pathetic. 549 votes on the poll. Don't forget we got the Momeister too, the pizza thief. He just had a bad day, don't you think? He was getting a spurt of bad calls. Although I'll be honest with you, the calls we heard on that segment you played were better than what we got so far today.
Yeah, what's he going to steal today?
And I'm not blaming him on anybody else. It's just what's out there, man. It's what's out there. That's what you got. Haven't you been in town long enough? Isn't 4 years long enough to tell you that's what you got? Man, I guess I must be responsible for that too. I transplanted all these people to South Florida. I done it. If there's like a big pile in your backyard, I probably done that too. 553 votes. Who do you wish had become president? Recent, past, distant, whenever. Al Gore, 170. Bobby Kennedy, 138. John McCain, 92. John Kerry, only 56, as in Q, 56. Mario Cuomo, 23. Ted Kennedy, solamente, how do you say it? 20. 20. Adlai Stevenson, 15. George McGovern, 13. Hubert Humphrey, 11. Nelson Rockefeller, 10. And Michael Dukakis, that little shrimp boat, still only 5. Sad.
This is Neil Rogers. This
I think that's
is
how many electoral votes he won.
QAM.
This is Head of Homeland Security Tom Ridge, advising you to put duct tape on your radio when I raise the warning color to pink for the Neil Rogers 12 to 1 hour.
Every day the news is warning we have a yellow light. That must mean they have something to hide. That's how they manipulate headlines. What's green mean? Any kind of subterfuge is useful, like a yellow light designed by the corporate media right. And that's why we have a yellow light. Can't explain the meaning of what these lights do. Like Congress sits at his desk with a set of blow pens and noodles cartoons. Anytime they want to confuse the news, they have a yellow light. What's that mean? Something they can't define. That's why we have a yellow light, a big light.
Okay, so Scooter Libby pleaded not guilty, in case you've been sleeping. It's 12 noon at 560 WQM, and also I just checked to make sure we had the newest numbers from FPL. Guess what?
We do.
We do?
Oh, no, we don't.
There aren't any.
No?
Well, we do have the latest ones from 6 o'clock this morning. Was there a 10 o'clock one on there?
No.
You know what that tells me? That tells me that's not a good sign.
Maybe they didn't do anything.
Well, it's possible. Not a good sign. It's sure been creeping along these last couple of days, George. Oh, sorry, George is out sick today, and so is his whole family. And they're foaming at the mouth because they got no power, they got no cable, they got no internet, they got no nothing. They got that generator running, which is probably filling up the house with fumes and killing all of them. Sounds like a massive lawsuit to me. 6 o'clock this morning, still 238,000 plus out in Broward, 190,000 plus in Dade, and over 100,000 in Palm Beach counties. And except for 530,000 out in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach, which is all but 2,000 of the entire statewide homes that are out. Tragic. So if you want to go out and plunge your guts out, Calder is open with a full card today. They opened at 11 o'clock this morning. The poker room is open. They're going to have a full racing card. And those of you who are bored, you got cabin fever, you're sick and tired of inhaling those nasty, noxious fumes from your generator, knock yourselves out. Now, we got the beast now or what?
I'm here.
Well, I sure missed that shy, you know it, Josh? I bet you heard that the pizza was coming in.
Yeah, he did. I did.
Now, I don't want any cracks from you about stealing pizza, okay? You're the last one we need to jump on that bandwagon. Everybody piling on now. You're not going to do it, are you?
Of course.
Now, did we ever find out what was on the pizza? That would be kind of interesting, I think, for the audience.
There's a rumor it's pepperoni, but I'm not sure. That wouldn't be perfect, so who knows?
Really? Sounds awfully trafe to me. I hope nobody stuck some on Gary Sarner's desk.
I'll be having pepperoni and sausage when my pizza gets here.
Yeah, that's good. That's my favorite. Pepperoni and sausage. Very good and tray for the Beast. So we hear the Beast has got a fiancée. He's going to get married now.
That is
got a date set?
We're thinking July, maybe.
July. Well, you better lose an ounce or two before that date, okay? That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I need to find a tux that fits.
Comcast tries to speed restoration of cable TV service. Comcast, facing pressure from customers eager to get cable TV back when electricity returns, said yesterday it was not waiting for Florida Plunder and Loop to restore power before testing whether cable facilities were working. Don't wait for them, please, guys. If you wait for Florida Plunder and Loop, you'll be waiting until hell freezes over. You'll be waiting until George Bush gets an IQ over 10. By testing its equipment, Comcast said it can make repairs and enable cable service to return in homes as soon as electricity does. However, the company said just over half of its hubs for relaying cable signals to homes were operating. The number of customers with service could be less than that, said spokesman Spiro Canton, who used to be a funky news reporter on on one of them, Channel 4, I think. Remember Spiro Canton? No.
No idea.
Before your time. Comcast, the largest cable operator in Broward, said some of its lines are being cut when the other workers remove debris or repair their company's equipment. For example, we've experienced 2 major outages in the past 2 days due to other companies' restoration work that's inadvertently cut our fiber, Comcast said in a statement. Meanwhile, Bell South said 390,000 customers in Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade counties remained without phone service yesterday. That amounts to 16% of Bell customers in Broward, 14% in Palm Beach, and 10% solamente 10 in Dade. Not good. And, also speaking of not good, Because I'm sure a lot of you people think, oh, we're going to get some big rebates from FP&L because our power's been out for days. Going to get some really big rebates. Isn't that what they're thinking?
I can't think that even the people down here can be that ignorant.
Well, maybe they might, and maybe they won't, and who knows. Florida Power and Light customers who lost electricity because of Wilma may not see a drop in their next electric bill, depending on your billing cycle. Some customers will get an estimated bill this month because meter readers are directing out-of-town restoration crews. That estimated bill could be slightly higher or lower than what you normally pay. Your next billing cycle, however, will be based on an actual meter reading and should include an adjustment between the estimated cycle and the amount of electricity actually read by the meter. Oh, thanks to my Aunt Rita for the birthday card, by the way. That was a nice touch. How do you like that? I got a birthday card.
There's
at the
people
house.
faxing you left and right. Happy birthday.
Well, how come you're not telling me that?
Because that's all it really says.
Well, you know something? The longer you're there...
Well, tomorrow is your birthday.
I think Moe's got a point about you. The longer you're there, the more you're becoming one of us. Not good. Tomorrow what?
Tomorrow is your birthday, so if a
No, tomorrow's not my birthday. Saturday is my birthday, and I'm not coming in to do a show on Saturday so everybody can call in and say, Happy birthday, Neil.
I'll tell you what, every birthday fax I get, I'll send it to you, okay?
No thanks.
All right.
We don't want to have to chop all the maple trees down up here so you can waste my fax paper, please. Well, are they signed? Do they got a name on them?
I don't know. I didn't really
throw them out.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for the birthday wishes. Now, get lost. The minute the lights go out with a hurricane, the meter stops. This is your power now. In many cases, though, the estimated bill is going to be less than what you really spent, and the next cycle will be adjusted, said FP&L spokesman Michael Villafana. Bottom line, you're only paying for electricity you actually use. Sound complicated? Yes. Unlike cable TV, where you pay a flat monthly rate, your electric bill is based on the amount of electricity used and read by your household meter. Makes sense to me. Other factors affecting your bill include restarting your appliances, such as refrigerator and air conditioning systems. When you have to restart everything, it can have an impact on the amount of energy you're using, Villafana said. As of yesterday afternoon, the utility company, well, we know about that. We don't want to hear about that. Oh, and then it says, oh, yeah, power should be restored to 95% of all FP&L customers by Tuesday, less than a week away, writes the, which paper is this in? Whatever it is, Sun Sentinel. Less than a week away, like we're supposed to be happy. Only a few days away. The company is moving crews from Florida's west coast, where power has been essentially restored, into southeast Florida. In eastern Broward, where damage was more extensive, the restoration date is moved up to November 13. November 13, which is 10 days from now. That's, oh boy. Long ways away, baby. A long ways down the road, George. Poor George. I told you, he ought to go to Greg and say, hey, put us up at a Fontainebleau or some nice fancy schmancy Miami Beach hotel, or maybe Fort Lauderdale Beach. Maybe the Yankee Clipper, what part they got open, right?
Right. Well, yeah.
Why the hell not? Take care of our people, for Christ's sakes. It's your number one rated show, even though the old man just sits and reads out of the newspaper every day 4 hours. It's the number one rated show, you old toad. That's right. That's what I've been told. Let me know as soon as the pizza gets there, okay? I want to see if anybody comes in and try to lift some.
I'll let you know. Or at least a little before 2, anyway.
Now that would be funny. I think that would be most amusing.
So would I.
No, it would be great. If he had a sense of humor, he'd come in here and, like, start belly aching about whatever, and then as you're not paying attention, lift a couple slices would be good. Wouldn't that be good?
That would be good.
I think it would be funny.
I plan on him walking in the door and maybe taking a slice.
He just doesn't want to play with us. That's the problem. You know, he just doesn't want to play the game. He wants to be a hard ass. He wants to be very bombastic, and I'm here to do. You know, see, sports is crap. Okay, it's even on a sunny, bright day, sports is like. And isn't he the guy that said before he even came on the air that sports talk is boring? Didn't he say that, or did I make that up?
He did say that.
He did say that. So let's not take it all so seriously, okay? The big deal about, well, we got to talk about sports. There are people out there haven't had power. They can't got no refrigerator. They got no TV. They got no pop-up toaster. They got no nothing going. And probably the storm even knocked their damn chicken off the door and the mezuzah off the door frame. And they're like really upsores. And this guy's worried about stealing a couple of slices of pizza from a couple of guys at Power 96. Who cares? In fact, if they were a couple of mentions, they'd have shared it. The minute he came in there, they said, "Hey Mo, how about a little pie here?" Right?
Pizza's here.
Oh, the pizza's here. See my psychic powers? I know it. Here's some good news for you if you're worried about the avian flu that they're trying to keep you in a state of panic, because that's what they do. Just like Michael Moore told you, keep everybody in a state of power of nightmares. Keep everybody scared. Richard Branson, chairman of Virgin Group Limited, said today that his company is looking into machines and new technologies to put on aircraft to kill germs in anticipation of a bird flu pandemic. He said his company has purchased 10,000 doses of the Tamiflu drug for his staff. You know, the drug that Don Rumsfeld's got all that stock in the company?
Mm-hmm.
In response to questions about companies holding Tamiflu, Branson said, "We bought Tamiflu because our staff is on the front line." Branson also said that despite Virgin's best efforts to protect staff and passengers, if the flu starts spreading person to person, it will almost certainly affect the airline industry. A most profound comment by Richard Branson. 580 votes on the poll. Now, let's see. What did we do during the show yesterday? 750 it was, right? We'd like to eclipse the 750 from yesterday, only to show that we're making some progress, right?
Yeah.
Winning the audience back over. Now, you're not going to be dipping into that pizza. How many did they bring? Just out of curiosity.
One pizza, but I don't like sausage and pepperoni.
They brought you only one, solamente uno?
Yeah.
Well, what's that? That's not going to feed you guys in Moe. You don't
I got me some spaghetti and meatballs and some garlic rolls also.
First, huh? That would be good. First of all, when the Beast tells me that he's not into pizza with pepperoni and sausage, the idea that you're selective in your dietary pursuits, that I find most amusing.
I don't like sausage.
Really? Why not?
And definitely pepperoni. I hate pepperoni.
That's not what Clarence told me.
Well, if it's kosher.
Fucking blow!
All right.
Where is the love? I don't get no grub smoke shit.
That's when you go doy-doy. You gotta try fast as I can use the lotion.
That's when I doy-doy. Doy-doy-doy-doy.
Doy-doy-doy-doy.
Sport hoes don't got no sense, sir, you found.
And when you go doy-doy, that's when your body has a cancerous tumor.
Doy-doy-doy-doy. Doy-doy-doy.
Doy-doy-doy-doy.
Number one with 3 bullets already. First week on the charts. 12:15 at 560 WQAM. IBM has created a chip. Wait till you hear this. This is fascinating while you're chomping on your pizza.
My pasta.
Now, you got... Oh, I thought you said pizza.
Oh, I got a pizza. I got spaghetti and meatballs over here, too.
I see. So if that's the case and the Beast isn't going to eat any of your pizza, don't you think just out of the... Just to try to, like, mend the fence a little bit, especially after the nasty things that you said this morning, and then you went out of your way to play that 5-minute segment, which I thought was really way over the top.
Is that right?
Well, I enjoyed it tremendously myself. But, you know where I'm going with this. We got the microwave there to heat it up.
You want me to offer him pizza, don't you?
Couple of slices at 2 o'clock. I think would be a nice gesture on your part.
I think he would get really offended.
Why is that?
I think if I walked in to the studio
and
offered him pizza, he might do...
He would tell you where to stick it?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? He might do what? He might punch you in the mouth?
He might think I'm trying to be a smartass.
He wouldn't be used to people being nice to him.
See, I don't know what the hell else to do. I mean, we're trying desperately. I mean, the story that I told, it was all over the building. It was a true story. It was not a kosher thing to do, but it's not the end of the world, and it certainly isn't going to harm his image. Which, quite frankly, I can't see how we could do that. He's already done so much on his own to create whatever it is.
Right now, even the power people don't like him.
What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean Power 96? I thought you meant the FPL people.
No,
they may
well,
not
probably
like
they don't either. Yeah, the Power 96 people hate you too now, Mo. It's just, well, I mean, why not at least make it a clean sweep, right? Why should they be on the outside looking in?
Pretty much.
And Hank this morning really piling on there at the end. What was the comment he made about what was it? Something about bonding. A common cause. We all hate the same guy. That was over the top, Humper. That was bad. And it was true. It was very bad.
That was funny.
I think you ought to offer him a couple of slices. I think he'd appreciate the gesture. We are look.
I think
to the very bitter end, whatever that comes, we are trying desperately to mend our fences a little bit, make you understand. It's not personal. It's only business. No, it's not business. It's only personal. Right?
Right.
Like I said, it's business and it's personal. And that Beast, he's sitting there just, oh brother. I can just see the look on your face right now. You're such a professional little yenta, man. Such a Schmidt disturber.
I had nothing on this one.
Yeah, but you knew about it.
Oh, only because I went into the kitchen after and I saw 20 boxes of pizza from one place and one Papa John's box.
Yeah.
And, that had pizza not in it anymore because someone took it.
Is it our fault that he got there too late to enjoy the Jerry and Joe's that came in earlier? If he would have had a heads up on that, if he would have been listening, which he usually is, he'd have known we had Jerry and Joe's.
Well, that's the thing. I hear that there was still pizza in the Jerry and Joe's box.
But it wasn't hot. It was cold. So it wasn't obviously up to par.
Now you're making the story worse.
No, I'm serious.
So in other words, you couldn't take the cold stuff and put it in the microwave that we have right there in the studio. And
there's a microwave in the kitchen right there too.
Oh boy, that's bad. So he wanted it hot and fresh. I think you could probably give him something hot and fresh. Probably a pile of it. But anyway. So in other words, you don't think it's a good idea to try to mend our fences a little bit, especially during these trying times?
I tell you what, I'll go in and offer him pizza, but I have an idea that he's going to react the way he did to
you
the
don't have
callers.
to do it directly. Why not have Robert be the pimp, since he's always sucking up to anybody to their face anyway? Why not have him be the intermediary?
Tell you what, I'll walk in the studio, hold up the pizza box.
Can say, here's what you can say. You can say, we're inviting Moe to wish me a happy birthday, just like he did that time with me. He invited me to come in and shake his hand and congratulate him on his birthday, and tell me the real story about how George, he tried to get fired.
Okay.
And you can tell him that he can wish me a happy birthday, and we'll give him the pizza as a peace offering at the same time, try to calm him down. He sounded yesterday like he was on the edge of losing it in that thing you played. And there's no reason for that. I mean, stealing pizza in the middle of a hurricane emergency is it's not the worst crime that could be. You know, it's right in there. I'd say in the top 5, wouldn't you?
Yeah, when people are hungry like that.
When they're desperate, especially those poor schleppers at Power 96. But anyway, you see what happens, okay? Give it a shot, and then we can report on it.
Hey, I'll give it a shot.
I bet you will. That's probably what you'll get in return.
That's
IBM has created a chip that can slow down light. The latest advance in an industry-wide effort to develop computers that will use only a fraction of the energy of today's machines, man. The chip, called a photonic silicon waveguide, is a piece of silicon dotted with arrays of tiny holes. Scattered systematically by the holes, light shown on the chip slows down to 1/300th of its original speed of 186,000 miles per second. In a computer system, slower light pulses could carry data rapidly, but in an orderly fashion, the light can be further slowed by applying an electric field to the waveguide. Researchers at Harvard and the University of Berkeley, California, have slowed light in laboratories. IBM, though, claims that its light-slowing device is the first to be fashioned out of fairly standard materials, potentially paving the way toward commercial adoption. A number of companies and university researchers are currently tinkering with ways to replace the electronic components inside computers, which ferry signals with electrons with optical technology. Optical equipment ferries data on photons, the smallest measure of light. Photons are far faster. More important, optical equipment generates less heat, curbing the growing problem of heat and power consumption. The catch, however, is that until recently, creating optical components has been more of an art than a science. The components cost a lot more to make and can't be cranked out in the millions like silicon chips. Another factor, optical parts are typically big, unlike silicon chips, which measure only a few silly millimeters on a slide. On a slide. Progress in blending the best of both technologies is advancing rapidly, however. Intel's demonstrated a Raman laser fashioned from silicon. Intel and startup Luxtera have shown off silicon modulators which chop up the light from a laser so it can represent data. I like that. Pretty amazing, man. Heavy-duty stuff. So when you're going to be putting those stories out pretty soon, it's going to happen in about 2 seconds.
Sweet.
All those bad. So that means I'll start sending a whole lot more of them, like about 80 a day. So for practice on that, we'll start tomorrow, I guess.
No, you're good.
Let's not. So you got pasta, and thanks, by the way, Tony, or Brad over at Tony's.
Yeah, Brad did it good this time. I got some garlic rolls, a little spaghetti meatballs.
You're the best, baby. Brad up there at Tony's, 441 193rd. They're open for business. They're slinging out the really good stuff, and everybody loves it. And the Beast is not participating, huh?
Oh, no, he is. He just took the meat off the pizza.
Oh, man, you are so full of it. God, when we were looking for that hot brown pile, that hot pile we were talking about before, I know exactly who we can look for to supply it for us. Good golly, that's bad. And that is true, by the way. When you were on, I was mentioning before, when you were on A Balance for Life, you were eating their food and your regular together.
Only on the weekends.
Yeah, on the weekend. He was eating that as like kind of an appetizer.
A Vorspeise.
Before the main course.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a couple of slices left over for our close personal friend?
Oh, yeah, I'm saving them all.
And you know what? You're the one, not Josh. Leave him out of this. He's already had enough trauma. You're the guy that needs to go in there. If anybody needs a peace offering, you're the guy. Bring him a piece. You going to do it?
Piece.
Are you up to it? Can you handle the challenge?
No problem.
Okay. About 1:45.
Yep.
Want you to pop a couple slices in the microwave, heat it up real nice, put it on top of some paper towel, take it in there and say, okay, here you go. Here you go, Moe. And then you can come back and report. What? You don't think that's a nice gesture?
I really don't think I should be the one to do it.
No, you're wrong. You are absolutely the one. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
See, even he agrees. You're the one. If anybody needs to start mending some fences, mister, you're the guy.
Who says
I hate that has no name. Democrats intensify Bush land, so that's good news. You're not going to start reading out of the newspaper, are you? Yeah, I am, as a matter of fact. I got some great story, including I got a good one. Man sues after using glue-covered toilet. I got that one. But first, Democrats yesterday escalated their fiery attacks on President Bush's rationale for going to war by tying his decision to the indictment of top administration aide, who pleaded not guilty today, by the way, Scooter Libby, in an aggressive political strategy that has energized the party's anti-war activist base, and better late than never. Boy, talk about late. The day after Senate Minority Leader Harry Reid of Nevada forced the Senate into a rare closed-door session to debate whether Mr. Bush manipulated intelligence information about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq as a pretext for war, he and other Democratic leaders stepped up their rhetoric and demands in a bid to drive the issue back into the news. Howard Dean, the Democratic National Committee chairman whose ill-fated 2004 presidential campaign was fueled by opposition to the war, called on the White House and Dick Cheney to answer questions about their roles in manipulating intelligence information to build support for the war, smearing opponents of the war, and covering up that smear campaign. It's the old smear and schmear, which I've been telling you for a hell of a long time. And as usual, I had my thumb on it. House Democratic leader Nancy Pelosi of California and Mr. Reid also sent Bush a letter asking him to apologize for the actions by Mr. Cheney's chief of staff, Scooter Libby, and any other officials who may have been involved in the CIA leak investigation. Senate Majority Leader Bill Fist returned fire yesterday, charging that Mr. Reid's tactical Senate ambush was a political stunt that took us off what we need to be doing about energy prices, deficit reduction, and the economy. This was a political stunt from the party of no that says obstruct filibuster, which they've said in the past, and it's a vacuum of ideas that's reflected within their party, Mr. Fisk said on Fox News, no less. Fox Fascist News. A Democratic national security strategist said the practical effect of Tuesday's Senate maneuver could backfire and drag down Democrats even more than it drags down the Republicans. He's full of crap. Fueling Mr. Reid's surprise decision for the closed session to debate Mr. Bush's war rationale was his party's large vocal anti-war base, which is increasingly playing a dominant role in shaping the Democrats' critical posture against the war in Iraq. I've been waiting for this day for 5 years. The Democrats have finally found their voice, and maybe they won't lose it again, said Kenneth Lear, co-founder with liberal activist Ariana Huffington of the HuffingtonPost.com. Finally, they've said enough. The left-wing website DailyKos.com said Mr. Reid's move was worthy of a Wild West gunfight. The move was pure political brilliance, they said. Several others, such as author David Walachinsky, raised the prospect of impeachment, asking, is this a Nixon moment on the horizon? We can only pray. He said, I don't think most Republicans today are quite there yet with George Bush, but Bush did allow his chief political advisor and vice president to out a CIA agent because her husband challenged the factual basis of Bush's rationale for sending American soldiers to war to die. 2035, by the way. At least that's the last time I looked. There could be more right now because they're dying by the seconds. But again, we better find those two chicks in Chatsworth, California, right?
That's right.
Let's take care of the important stuff, and then we'll have to worry about that chick in Aruba again so that Rita Cosby's got something to talk about, and then maybe we'll start worrying about that damn war. 27 past noon at QAM. When you think mattresses, you think of Sealy Posturepedic, the top-selling mattress brand in America. It's the gold standard. When you think of buying your next Sealy Posturepedic, think of Dial-A-Mattress. 1-800-Mattress, the easiest possible way to get you a new Sealy Posturepedic. With Dial-A-Mattress's factory direct prices, nobody, and I do mean nobody, sells Sealy Posturepedic for less. Dial-A-Mattress carries the area's largest inventory with all sizes and comfort levels in stock ready for same-day delivery. You can get a better night's sleep as soon as tonight if you make the call right now. 1-800-Mattress, #1 in customer satisfaction. They still let you choose the date and time for delivery in a 2-hour window that you pick when it's convenient for you, when your fat ass is going to be home. Even the very same day that you call. With a no-risk 30-day
About 30, man.
comfort trial in your own bedroom. Plus, they give you free setup and free removal on all deliveries all the time, too. I've been using them for a long time, and the smart folks at QAM and a lot of others are doing it, too. In fact, join over 2 million customers who skip those expensive chain stores for fast, easy, affordable mattresses from Dial-A-Mattress. 1-800-Mattress, that's the number to call. 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for sensational, stupendous savings.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Happy, never get late and stay home all alone.
Absolutely.
Blow out my window, knock out my door. These hurricanes are unbearable. I know my house won't be there anymore. Doesn't matter, undertow. It's not always wind swells and rainy skies. It's storm surge that moves us along. Yeah, my car is full, but the roads are not open. You know, FEMA just won't come. I won't try driving far, far away, out from the landfall of this hurricane. Look for the guy in the rubble pile, with his stuff spread out over a mile, and she's
I got something to say for all these experts, these Monday morning quarterbacks. Well, you should have had your water, your 72-hour supply, and you should have had your food. That's not helpful at this time. See what I'm saying?
No.
Finger pointing back at the poor bastards. Just like your fat-ass governor is saying the same kind of crap. On the one hand, he's taking the rap for it, but on the other hand, well, you should have all been prepared by now, and after all these storms, yada, yada, yeah, that's very helpful at this point, okay?
Nice of him.
People want their help. They want their cable back. They want their power back. They want their internets back. Not necessarily. They want their phone back. They want all of their stuff. They want their pizza back. They want their baby back ribs. Who did that used to be?
Chili's.
Chili. That's Chili's?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We want our baby back, baby back. That's Chili's?
Yeah.
We're barbecue sauce.
Oh. 623 votes. I think we're going to top that 750 from yesterday, which will mean we're on the road to recovery here on the show as well as out there in Radioland. See, I think that gesture that I'm suggesting, and I'm very serious about that, I think the message there is, hey, if those hard asses at Power 96 don't want to share their pie with you, we'll share it any time you want, okay? Even in spite of your behavior. We're just going to prove to you that we're not as bad as you think.
Does that mean every time I get a pizza, I have to share it with him?
No.
Okay, good.
Unless he comes in and asks very nicely, hey, I share a couple of slices of your pizza, Josh? That would be okay. Of course, he wouldn't do that. He would just grab it while you're not looking.
Even while you are looking.
I don't think he needs that, but I'm just thinking right now, just the timing of it, I think would be a little bit on the amusing side, and also very helpful. I think he probably could, use a little sustenance before working over a hot mic for 2 hours, sweating over all those idiotic calls.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, WQAM, hello.
I want Lawton Charles back.
WQAM, hello.
Jumbo.
See? Now, am I going to get upset about that? No, I just hit the yellow button, okay?
No, come on, get mad.
That must have been Hank's fault. Hank set him up to call. No, I take it back. It must have been
Rock solid.
the Big O's fault. In fact, you know something? Every nut job that we get calling in, what we'll do is we could take a mini instant poll and see who we can blame on each call, because they can't all be because of the same person.
That's a good poll.
Unlike the crank calls that come in after two, which are all my fault, but the ones that I've been getting for like the last 30 years. In fact, even before somebody came to town, whose fault were those?
Yeah, that's a good poll. Whose fault is it for the callers in this show?
Yeah. Well, I'll work something out. That isn't worded as spiffy as I would like, but it's got the roots of it. I don't see a lot of calls coming in yet. That's because our 6-minute delay hasn't cranked up. They don't know we're taking calls yet.
You got those two really good ones right there.
Yeah, we're good. 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Let's take between now and 1:15. Let's take at least 600-700 calls. What do you say? Well, you guys are chowing down on that good stuff from Tony's up there on 441, where Brad takes really good care of us. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello. That may have been Ron's best call ever, you know what? Nice going, Ron. Had a little material this time.
Absolutely.
WQAM, hello.
Line checker.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good, Pally. Now, you're not going to be our first real call of the day, are you?
Nah, I doubt it.
Oh.
How do you like those ranges, huh?
Yeah, like I said. WQAM, hello. Oh, and speaking of hockey, don't forget we got the Panther preview at 6:30 from the Fleet Center.
It is not the Fleet Center.
Oh, that's right. They changed the name of it. What is it now?
The TD Bank North Garden.
Oh, how silly. But the interesting part of it is they still have those silly yellow seats so that when they have all those empty seats. Here's a little message for all you kids out there. When you grow up and build your own arena, don't put yellow seats in it. Because when they're empty, they're so conspicuous by their presence. And the Bruins, who are drawing very crappily since they moved into that new arena. Not like the Boston Garden no more, I'll tell you that. Have you been there in the new arena?
Yes.
For what? For a hockey game or a basketball?
I was there for a couple of hockey games, a couple of Celtics games, and a Prince concert.
And how is it?
It's nice. It's okay.
Now, what about the location? Because I know in Boston Garden, which when I lived there, I was there many, many times.
Same location.
You could take the subway, the MTA, and you dropped you right at the entrance to the garden. Just like here, you can go to Union Station and go right to the Air Canada Center. You walk across, and you're right inside.
Yeah, the T goes right there. It's the same location as where the garden was. Right there.
I'll be damned. See how old I am. The T, now they've been calling it T for about 100 years, but it was the MTA when I was there. And, of course, that inspired the song by the Kingston Trio, the MTA, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
Sure.
You're not?
No idea.
Oh, you'd love that. Being a Boston guy, the MTA, Will Charlie Ever Return? It's a great song. I can't sing it for you. Anyway, Geldy, who's doing a fine job. Now, have you heard the broadcast? Now, you're a guy I can ask.
Yeah.
And?
I think he's doing a good job.
I think he's doing a fine job. And he gets better every game. I mean, he's, learning on the job, but he's getting better every game. I think he's doing a very good job, and I think he's a big improvement over the old fuddy-duddy he replaced. I don't want to get Jugs McDonald all upset with me again, but who cares? Jugs was 100 years old, that's all, and he would miss goals and stuff. I remember this is a true story. I went with a friend to a Leafs-Panthers game. This is, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And maybe 3 years ago. And Curtis Joseph couldn't stop a bowling ball. And it was like 3-0 Panthers before you knew it. And I just got disgusted. And after one period, we left. Early in the second period, when it got to be 3-0. And then it was 3-1. And all of a sudden now we're in the car going to my house. And the Leafs scored 2 goals very fast to tie the game. And I'm listening on the radio. I never heard either one of them. You know what I'm saying? I never heard either goal called.
That's not too good.
No. Since that's basically what calling a hockey game is all about. I was just never a big fan of his in the first place, but, he just... And then he also turned out to be a little bit of a...
In front for Spezza. For Alfredson. Spezza knocked out. Penalty coming. And Spezza slow to get to his feet. Phillips for Alfredson. Extra attackers on the ice for Ottawa. Chara sends it in front. Finally, the Sabres touch it.
That was a nice game. Did you see the final score in that game? Buffalo 4, Ottawa 10?
Missed it.
It wasn't bad enough that Ottawa embarrassed the Leafs last Saturday 8-0. Now they pile up on poor Buffalo 10-4. That's bad. They're good, man, Ottawa. And you know who the coach of Ottawa is, by the way?
Beast.
The coach of the Ottawa Senators?
No idea.
BM. The spokesman, man. Brian Murray. He's the coach. You ever hear of Marcus Nielsen? Anyway, he BM. You're useless. 567-0560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular Wireless line. I don't even know why you go to the hockey games in Boston. You don't know anything about it. You don't understand it. Was that to get your, Cam Neely blow-up doll? Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew hockey in the days of, Kenny Linsman and Brad Park. But
oh, here we go. Don't pull a defo on me again, please. WQAM, hello.
Hello, happy birthday. I'm sick.
WQAM, hello. QAM, hello.
Yes, this is sophomore John.
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to compliment him on the news, talk quick weather and ice.
Excellent. See, now, who's responsible for that call? Who do you think? I think the Mad Dog done it.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Neil, this is Noodles, reminding you that it's always a good time for the great taste.
The Blame Game. FEMA, 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 banana, banana, FEMA, FEMA, Mima. FEMA. Governor Blanco. Blanco, 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 banana, banana, Blanco, FEMA, Blanco. Blanco. Come on, everybody. I say now let's play a game. I bet you I can place the blame for the nasty hurricane. President Bush. Bush, Bush, for Bush, banana, banana, for Bush, keep buying more mush. Bush. Everybody blame Mayor Hagan. Megan, Megan, for Megan, banana, banana, for Fagan, keep buying more Megan.
You failed.
Megan. The Blame Game.
12:45 at 560 WQM. We got 646 votes on our poll. We're rolling along there. I think we might get to 751. That would make me very happy. That would be a nice birthday gift, wouldn't it? 751.
Yeah.
And then maybe tomorrow, 755. We don't want to overdo it because I'm looking at that thing. I keep looking every break. I'm looking, working for you folks, looking for the 10 a.m. advisory from FPF, Florida Plunder and Loot. And guess what? Here it is. There isn't any. There was the 6 a.m. and there's no more. Now, you know what that tells me? You know what the message is that I'm getting?
What's that?
Because it's 12:46. The message I'm getting is they're not making much progress. In other words, it would be too embarrassing to put up a new report and shows they got 4 more households on statewide.
Took a big break today.
So this is unacceptable. It's 10 days later, folks. 10 days, count them. And there's still almost 250,000 people in Broward County don't have power. 238,100. And almost 200,000 in Dade, 190,600. And in Palm Beach County, a little over 100,000, 101,600. That sucks. And like I've been saying over and over again, if 17,000 wouldn't get the job done, if 20,000, then bring in 30,000, okay? Drag them off the streets.
That's right.
And this business about, now they're bringing in from the West Coast. How come just now? The West Coast has been back in good shape for a long time now, for days. Only 2,000 homes in the entire state of Florida are without power, 1,500 in Martin County, 500 in St. Lucie County, and the other 530,000 are all in Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach. Now, let me ask you, how did a Category 3 hurricane do so much damage in our 3 counties? And as it came, I realize the Everglades, there ain't nobody living there, but as it came across the West Coast, in Naples and Fort Myers and all of these places and things, how come we didn't do that much there? Is that a dumb question? Wouldn't you think that, I mean, granted, there's no mountains in Florida, there's no high land, but wouldn't you think that the greatest impact would be as it came on shore, and that as it crossed land, that would lose a little bit of its oomph? Wouldn't you think that?
You would think.
530,000 people still no power, and that's 10 days after. And now they're saying by Tuesday, 95%. They didn't say which Tuesday, though. I think they meant 6 weeks from Sukkot. Tuesday, my ass, okay? By next Tuesday, the day of that is November the 8th, 95%. You want to make any bets on that? Get a hold of Eddie K's on the way back from Vegas and the Humper.
I'd like to see what that line is.
An afternoon line odds on whether they have 95% back on by Tuesday, November 8th. Oh, give me a break. Confidence is low. It's mighty low. But Calder's running, full card today. They're open right now. The poker room is open. They're plunging their guts out. I bet you the Humper went out there when he heard that it was open.
Sure.
Did you guys have that word this morning, Beast, or not?
What's that?
About Calder being open today.
I'm not sure if we did.
Well, that's out of your league, man. It's out of your territory. A guy like you can't afford to be plunging on horses when you're losing all your monies at the slots.
That is true.
Yeah, you ought to come up here sometime. Maybe go a honeymoon in Niagara Falls with your bride, and come up here and go to. And you don't have to come up here and go to Niagara Falls Fallsview Casino. Play your Squeal of Fortune, lose your ass.
Oh, I love that game.
I do. You know something? I'm glad that I got somebody on here who's sucking around a little bit, but nevertheless it's addictive. I'm going to sue them. I'm going to sue Merv Griffin. I'm going to sue Vanna White, and of course, what's his name? Pat Sajak. It's an addictive game. You know that, right?
Oh, I know. I get it from my dad. He has real issues.
And the thing with this, the spin, they can take their spin and they can shove it. There isn't anybody on and when you get the pink 30 on the wheel, I don't want to get too inside. When you get the pink 30, that's, you know what that's called? That's called the kiss of death. Your machine can be hot as a pistol, man. It can be spitting out coins like crazy. And you get the pink 30, bada bing, that's the end. Bet you didn't know that, did you?
I did not.
And I'll tell you what's the best, one of the best ones, other than the big payoff, is the 20, which is the lowest number on the dollar machine. You know why that's good?
Why is that good?
Because that means your machine is on the bottom of the cycle, and not always, but very often that means if you get a spin fairly quick and get off that 20, the machine is going to go bonkers and pay like crazy.
Seems like you have a lot of experience.
Oh, you don't want to know.
You must have it all figured out.
Yeah, I got it figured out all right. And then of course I can tell you about the smell of the people who sit next to you at Woodbine, but I won't. Not again. Not so close to Moe's lunchtime. Here's a fax that says, the reason I play that noodles thing, it says, I hear an announcer doing either weather or traffic on 940 WINZ who calls himself Don Anthony. Do you suppose it's the old Don Agony from Love 94 days? I don't know. Also, Don Agony was known as...
It's a good time.
Noodles.
For the great taste. Neil, this is Noodle.
Good. The only noodles I like are like Luxemkugel. And pasta, which I can't eat. Whatever happened to Greg Budell, by the way? Does anybody know what happened to Greg? Did he get canned again, or did he crawl into a corner and cry? Well, what's his story? Poor Greg. It's just not a great name for a lot of us. And you know who else? Greg, what was the guy's name from the Button on the Beach that died a few months ago? Greg something. In Fort Lauderdale, you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Well, whatever. George still doesn't have power, by the way. I just mentioned that. He lives in Hollywood, over there in the area by that Shell and I-95 area, between there and the beach, I believe. So some of you people over there, some of you executives at FPNL, I'm going to tell you one thing. If George comes back tomorrow from his illness or on Monday, he is going to take. I'll hand over to him an hour of the show just to personally rip you an ass. Don't you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, and he would have a good hour because he's hating life right now.
Just to personally vent his anger and frustration and angst over the kind of incompetence, and his family is sick. He's sick. They can't even crank up the Flavor Wave oven. Oh, he's got the generator going though. Yeah. And they're probably all sick from the fumes for that damn generator. You people out there who are inept, let me say it again, don't get a generator. Not a good idea. For people who are like klutzes, people who smoke a lot. Speaking of that, U.S. leads the way in medical errors. Patients in the U.S. reported higher rates of medical errors and more disorganized doctor visits and out-of-pocket costs than people in Canada, Britain, and 3 other developed countries, according to a survey released today. 34% of U.S. patients received wrong medication. 34%! Improper treatment or incorrect or delayed test results in the last 2 years, the Commonwealth Fund found. 34%, that's over a third.
Yeah, we're doing great.
32% of Canadian patients reported similar medical errors, followed by only 27% of Australians, 25% in New Zealand, 23% in Germany, and 22% in Britain. Driven up by relatively high medication and lab or test errors, at 34%, the spread between the U.S. and the countries with the lowest error rates was wide. Kathy Schoen, Senior Vice President of the Commonwealth Fund, wrote in the journal Health Affairs. The Commonwealth Fund says its mission is to support independent research on healthcare issues. Researchers who conducted the poll between March and June of this year questioned adults who had experienced some kind of serious condition that required intense medical treatment or been hospitalized for something other than routine pregnancy. Overall patient experiences often paint a picture of no person or team responsible for ensuring that care is coordinated and continuous with a focus on patient needs. Patients in the U.S. reported the highest rate of disorganized care at doctors' offices, 33%, disorganized care, followed by Germany with 26%, Canada with 24%, and New Zealand 21%. U.S. patients also stood out for shouldering more medical expense than those in other countries. More than half said they didn't take their medicines or see a doctor because it cost too much. How do you like that? Sign America, baby. People are starving. People are holishing. People are dying over here. Can't afford their medical care. What are we worried about? We're worried about those two chicks from Chatsworth, California. Where are they? With the ones with the black boots on. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is Tony. I want to tell Neil, guy's name was Greg Newell, crazy Greg Newell.
Greg Newell, that's the guy.
Oh, yeah, hi. This is Neil. Neil, hi.
Sure is.
And I want to wish you a happy birthday. My birthday's March 1st, which I know is your anniversary.
That's right. That reminded me that 30 years on March 1st.
30 years.
Oh, boy.
My wife and I are here home. We're sick as dogs, no electricity. We're lying in bed. She says, turn on Neil, turn on Neil. So you're on and we're listening.
Thank God for us. Okay, where do you live? What part of town?
Southeast section by the courthouse, right behind Channel 7, actually.
South Beach, and you have no power? I thought South Beach was...
Southeast. Southeast.
Southeast. I thought you said South Beach. Oh, Southeast by the Fort Lauderdale courthouse.
Yeah, right about 6 blocks south there. Yeah.
Well, good luck, Pally.
Well, thanks a lot, Neil.
Hang in there.
Talk to you later.
How do you like that Southeast, that Fort Lauderdale thing? Well, there's a lot of wires. Yeah, you know something, they want excuses. They want their power back. Those people are sick in his house, just like at George's house, okay? You maniacs. And I'm going to say it again. Everybody listening to me in South Florida right now knows this is true. It can be like the middle of January, way out of hurricane and tropical storm season, out of rainy season. It can be 75 degrees. The sun is shining. There isn't a cloud in the sky. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the day, for no particular reason, bada bing, there goes your power. Maybe a pigeon flew over with real serious wild diarrhea. Maybe that did it. That's all it takes. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
I do.
I have never lived anywhere in my life where the power goes out just all the time. I can understand during a storm. I can understand the end of the world is coming. It's like tornadoes and whatever. But like on a bright sunny day when there isn't a damn thing going on, I'll click, blink, and then of course you have to reset all your, your VCR and your this and your that. You got to reset 8,000 clocks in the thing on the microwave, and 2 minutes later, bloop, there it is again for a couple seconds, and that just frosts my fat old ass. You know, one thing I'll say here. Now you'll recall, Josh, the day I had to do the show on the phone.
Yeah, that was unique.
Well, I mean, I didn't have any choice because I got this power backup that lasts for half an hour, the one that keeps bzz, bzz, making noise. But there was somebody struck a water main or something, and it knocked the power out in a whole area of town for whatever that was. And that was once. The other time, in the 4 years I've been doing shows from here a lot, the other time was the big blackout in the whole Northeast. Remember that day? You don't remember that?
I don't. I don't know.
That
if
was
I
before your
time.
Yeah,
I don't know if I was with you guys then.
At any rate, there was a whole power blackout all over the Northeast.
I mean, I remember that, but...
Well, we went off the air. Or no, actually, I take that back. It happened after I was off the air. It happened about 4 in the afternoon. And it didn't. I don't think it affected the show. But at any rate, no, because my power came back at about 2, 3 in the morning. So those are the only 2 times that I can tell you that the power ever went out here, and it was because of a concrete reason. In other words, there was a reason for. In spite of the winter and the snow and the other storms, I mean, we got stuff that happens here, but the power stays on. How do you like that for 5 million people? What's the story down there in Florida, Plunderaloo? What is your story, huh? Can't keep it up. Isn't that the problem? That's what Joyce said. Can't keep it up. 12:57 at 5:60. Now, you getting excited about the pizza or what?
I am thrilled.
Now, do you think this is a bad idea?
I know it's a bad idea. I'm going to do it anyway.
No, you're not going to do it. I thought the Beast is going to do it.
I'm not doing it.
He's not going to do it.
Why not? Oh, you are such a wuss. You talk a good game, but you are such a weasel, man. What a wuss.
Because, Josh, I think, could go in there and say he's bringing peace. But he would never believe me if I said I was doing it.
And that little beast, if he thinks I'm going to make up with him, he's got another thought.
This is Neil Rogers. Piece of crap. This is 560 QAM.
It's the 1 to 2 hour.
In that power company on hold.
You put the futility in utility. Florida Paradise and Light. There isn't a hurricane that blows as much as you. When a storm threatens, we can count on you to turn our power off long before it gets here, leaving the rest of us to marvel at the blue glow of exploding transformers. providing us a historical perspective of 1957 technology. And in the moist heat of tropical darkness, the weakening batteries in our radios broadcast your latest press release for South Florida that says your trucks and crews are ready to roll from the Alabama state border. And the question in everyone's mind is, huh? So as we search for the appropriate answer to how many FPL emergency crews does it take to change a light bulb, Florida Paradise and Light, this bird's for you.
Net Power Company, Mo.
Absolutely.
101 at 560 WQM. We got the big 1 to 2 hour now. Then we got the Moe Meister at 2, with or without the pizza. 4 o'clock, it's Mad Dog. 6:30 Panther preview. The Panthers, like I said, at the whatever that place is called, the formerly Fleet Center.
The TD Bank North Garden.
And in Boston, 7 o'clock today. Bruins are, like I said before, they're so-so. They're like the Panthers. I think they're both very similar so far. They're up and down. They're in and out. And Curtis for Eddie K at 10, because Eddie K is on his way back from Vegas, a lot lighter than he was before. Not that he's a heavyweight, but I guarantee you his wallet's empty.
So let me ask you.
Yes.
What do you think's going to happen? You think he's just going to be like, oh, okay, no problem?
I don't know. I have no idea. I doubt it. It all depends. It depends on which side of his hip the bag is swinging on today. I don't know.
I'd say he gets real defensive.
In other words, you're going to go right in there to his studio? Is that what you're going to do? You're not even going to use Robert as the intermediary?
Oh, I'll just walk in the studio where Robert is and hold up the box and say, hey,
right.
you want a piece?
But he's going to take that the wrong way. That's not a good idea. See what you're going to do?
Well, you want me to walk in his studio?
No, but don't hold up the box.
I would take 2 hot slices into his studio
and take some paper towels there. You got a lot of paper towel. Take a couple of slices, put them in the microwave, heat them nice and good, and take them in there. And if he doesn't want them, I bet you Robert will eat them, even though it's trafe. Don't you think so?
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, there you go. So at least we offered, okay, a little peace offering,
right on.
A little trying to calm him down a little bit. Just over the top. This is the second time this happened. When was the last time this happened? Oh, I know what it was. You know what it was?
What?
Let me give you a little clue.
Jason, you're on QAM.
Remember that?
I do.
And so he made a mistake, okay? Not the end of the world. He says there's no National Guard in Iraq. So, nobody's perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I come on here at 10 o'clock. That's a lot of times a bad mistake. I start taking those dumb calls. That's a bad mistake. Nobody's perfect, okay, Mo? Believe me, we've seen you. Nobody's perfect. Trying. Just till the very last moment of our last gasping breath, I'll try.
Maybe he won't show up today.
He'll be there. If he wasn't going to show up, we'd already have a schedule change. Clarence would have been in there breathlessly crossing out and doing whatever. Why do you say that?
I don't know. He said
Is
yesterday.
that wishful thinking on your part?
Maybe.
And why is that?
Well, it'd be a lot lighter here if there were no Mo.
It'd be a lot lighter there without you, I'll tell you that. About 350 pounds lighter.
Oh, my.
678 votes on the poll. We need a lot. We need, what's 22 and 51? Is 73 votes by 2 o'clock? We can sure do that. Because yesterday we had 750, which I thought was pretty good. Oh, look at that Scooter Libby on his crutches there.
As a very tough defense lawyer in the courtroom.
Yeah, he's on crutches. See, God is punishing him. Whatever his ailment is, and I have no idea what it is, he's been on his crutches for a while. That's what happens, baby. God is punishing you, Scooter. Anyway, speaking of being punished and bad hair pieces, Aaron Brown, who's one of my least favorite people. Whiny Aaron Brown. Oh, God. Just before you go to bed, you turn on CNN to see if anything's happening in the world, and there's Aaron Brown whining. Man, it's enough to give you wild diarrhea all night. Aaron Brown, one of CNN's most prominent anchors, it says here, is leaving as compared to whom, I guess, is leaving the network after a shakeup that gives his primetime slot to rising star Anderson Cooper and expands it to 2 hours. Anderson Cooper sends me straight to the pooper. I'll tell you that. He leaves me limp. He's nothing.
I like
He's much to do about it. Huh?
I like A. Coop.
I don't. Can't stand him. I'd rather watch Rita Cosby, and I'd rather be dead than turn on that bitch. He is so overrated. He's such a lightweight. Some of the stupid questions he has. He's an idiot. But he made his mark there during the hurricane, during Katrina in New Orleans, and so now all of a sudden he's a star. Cooper's old 7 p.m. show will be filled by an expanded version of The Situation Room. Oh, we have to go back to The Situation Room with Wolf Blitzkrieg. The late afternoon program attracting attention for its arresting use of multiple video screens. Oh, yeah, somebody ought to be arrested for writing this crap. The Situation Room, my ass. With Brown left without a time slot, we mutually looked at the lay of the land and came to this conclusion that he would leave, said CNN U.S. President John Klein. We looked at the lay of the land and came to this conclusion, he would leave. It's a lot nicer saying that than saying, hey, Aaron, you're fired today. Brown was vacationing this week, according to the network. A telephone call to his agent seeking comment, not return, of course. Klein said the switch was done to build CNN's schedule around what he considers its hottest personality, Cooper, and its hottest news show, The Situation Room, with Wolf Blitzkrieg, that Nazi bastard. Cooper, 38, has been gathering momentum all year. You notice how many people have gone off of that thing in the last couple of years? Not that anybody under 100 watches CNN. Remember Bill Humper? What was his name? Humper?
Bill Hemmer.
And then there was, what's her name, the broad in the afternoon at, Judy Woodruff?
Judy Woodruff, yep.
She's gone. And then just a whole bunch of people just unceremoniously packing their bags like whiny Aaron Brown. That's no loss. Bad. And the Muskrat, man, the reddest, and it would change colors, too. It was like a Jerry Witchner hairpiece. That thing would change color from, like, orange to dark red to, like, purple. Wow. Depending on how bad he was whining that night. Oh, and the rooster stops by with the morning paper. Is the rooster. Yeah, we got your rooster over here, okay?
And the weather in Chicago.
Cooper, 38's been gathering Moe all year. That peaked on his on-the-scene coverage of Katrina. He's got a refreshing way of being the anti-anchor, he said. He's not, quote-unquote, reporting at you. He's just being himself. Yeah, Dumbo. He's asking the questions that you would like answered. No, he's not. He's getting involved the way you might. You feel he's a regular guy, and you can trust him talking to you. He brings such a passion to the storytelling that's infectious. How do you like that? I thought that there was only one person in the broadcasting business who was really infectious.
I'm infectious!
Yeah, but it's also your boy. After Katrina, CNN paired Cooper and Brown together in a 2-hour newscast, but Klein said he had no interest in keeping them together as a team, saying you just want to make sure that you're putting Cooper in the best possible situation and showcasing his talent. I haven't seen any yet. Brown, where's Bernie Shaw when we need him, huh? Where's a real news guy? Where's Lou Waters when we need him? CNN used to have some real news people on once upon a time. Brown, 56, went to CNN from ABC in 2001, was immediately thrust into a major whining role with his heartfelt anchoring following the 9/11 attacks. It appeared he would become the face of the network, but that never really happened. He was hurt by a widely reported story in 2003 that he didn't cut short a golf outing to come to work on the day the Columbia Space Shuttle disintegrated. He was busy golfing. How do you like that? His quirky, cerebral 10 p.m. newscast did have a following, however, with fans who liked his commentaries and the Whip, a quick review of top stories from correspondents across the globe. Yeah, Whip this. It became apparent when Klein took over that he wasn't a fan, and the show's format changed dramatically with bigger emphasis on one main story. Greta Van Susteren in her Fox News channel, Dogface, sharply increased her ratings advantage over CNN in the time slot this year. The second hour of Cooper's new newscast will replace a rerun of Lou Dobbs Tonight that the network had buried. Thank God. Like I said, I like that Anderson Cooper a lot. Lou Dobbs, man, I see him on my screen. I want to put a pellet gun through it. Not the pellets, the whole gun. Lou Dobbs. Always scream. All he knows is illegal aliens, outsourcing a job. And then he still kisses up to Bush. It doesn't make any sense to me. Lou Dobbs. Oh, there's Charles in that other dog face.
Rare public comments on the issue. Her mother and grandmother both suffered from the bone disease.
Yeah. Camilla and Charles. Does anybody in this country give a crap about them?
No.
No, we got kids dying over there in Iraq. We got multi-trillion-dollar debt, and we're worried about Charles and Camilla. Screw them. Go back across the pond where you belong. Okay, go put on your kilts again, you silly-ass goose. Go fly over there without the plane. Just waggle your arms a little bit. The ears will do it for you. Ever see him and Dumbo the elephant together, Prince Charles? Same creature. FBI says Muslims were detained at stadiums they weren't profiled. This is nasty. 5 Muslim football fans were detained and questioned during a game at Giants Stadium because they were congregating near an air duct on the night former President Bush was in the stadium, the FBI said yesterday. They were congregating near an air duct. Bada bing! Some of the Muslims said they didn't know they were in a sensitive area, and they complained that they were subjected to racial profiling while they were praying, as their faith requires 5 times a day. Some guys like getting laid 5 times a day. The Muslims, they like praying 5 times a day. They're praying for it. They want those 7 virgins in heaven. I'm as American as apple pie, and I'm sitting there, and now I'm made to feel like I'm an outsider for no reason other than I have a long beard that I pray. It said Sammy Shaban, a 27-year-old Seton Hall law school student who lives in Piscataway in Jersey. Now, this says Giants Stadium in East Rutherford. The Giants play at the Meadowlands?
Yeah.
How come I wasn't aware of that? I thought that they played in Yankee Stadium. How long? About 10 years they haven't played there?
What?
The Giants. 20 years?
It's been quite a while.
The Giants play in the Jets Stadium in East Rutherford?
It's actually Giants Stadium, and the Jets play in Giants Stadium.
I never watch them anyway, the Giants. Boring. At a news conference Wednesday, Shaban said he and 4 friends had just gone to the September 19th Giants-New Orleans Saints game, when they left their seats to pray. Around halftime, 10 security officers and 3 state troopers approached the men and told them to come with them. Come with me, you raghead. The men were questioned, then were not allowed to return to their seats, but were instead assigned to seats in another section. 3 guards stood near them and escorted them to their cars when they left the stadium. Well, it's nice to have a personal escort, especially at the Meadowlands where it's so easy to lose your car. The only time I've ever been there, I was to the racetrack at the Meadowlands years and years ago. And I had to rent a car. And I parked the rent-a-car, and I went in, and I plunged my guts. I think I won a few bucks, and I came out. It took me a half hour to find my car in the parking lot. Not good. When you have a rent-a-car, always put one of them flower things on the antenna.
One of those
FBI
flower
agents,
things?
like the old people do down there, the flower antenna. You haven't ever seen those? Oh, come on, man. You got to be kidding me. Even the beast knows what that is.
No idea.
Get out of here.
What do you mean, like an actual flower?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm all set.
The old farts. My mother had one on her car on the antenna. See, I mean, most new cars don't have an antenna anyway. The antenna radio thing is in the windshield. But a lot of cars that have the little antenna, and they have like a little flower on top so they can find their car when they go to the parking lot at Publix, Sonny. Don't you understand what's wrong? I don't understand how anybody that lived down there as long as you guys could be so out of touch. The flower antenna is like right behind the early bird dinner in popularity.
Is that right?
Yes. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if a lot of the old farts that go to the early bird, they got a flower antenna on their car. You better get with it, mister. One of these days when you're old and senile, you're going to lose your car.
I see the tennis ball on the antenna.
Well, same concept. Now, why is the tennis ball on there?
Who the hell knows?
So they can find their car. In fact, somebody told me that big black instrument, that dildo that we had laying around our Square, used to put that on her antenna. Well, it was distinctive, right?
She found it.
No, actually, Roy found it. Roy Foster found it. He wouldn't let go of it. 600. I had to tear that thing away from him. 696 votes. Are we going to get to our 751 or 2 or whatever?
No problem.
You think?
Oh yeah.
696. 113. The pressure is mounting now. I'm just wondering, if you're going to chicken out on this thing or you're going to do it.
Chicken out. I'm going to do it. I'm just telling you that he's going to be
Good for you.
surly.
See, here's a guy that's got a pair of balls. He doesn't just talk a good game like some people I know, not to mention any names. He's got a pair. He's going to go in there and make a little offering. And if not, look, okay, so we tried to lighten up a little bit. And like I said, worst comes to worst, Robert will eat it. Or worst comes to worst, who's doing the update today, Ken?
Probably, yeah.
Well, I guarantee you Ken could probably use it. He weighs about 100 pounds soaking wet. He could probably use some free pizza. How you doing, Ken? There's our hero at QM, Ken Malden, man. He's the guy. He's a real broadcaster. He's a real mensch. He's the man. And he doesn't take any crap from anybody, okay? Trust me when I tell you. In his own quiet way. Hey, listen, talking about crap, there are a lot of shoe stores that said you're off brands that you never heard of before. You won't find those shoes at Brandy's. You'll find only the top names, a humongous selection of the best brands in the business, like Rockport, Florsheim, Echo, Mephisto, SAS, New Balance, and lots more. And Brandy's professional shoe fitters will make sure you got a customized fit of your favorite comfort shoe every time. Just ask for Arnie. He'll make sure you get the perfect fit at a price you're going to love. And at Brandy's, the chances are you're never going to hear, no, sorry, we don't have that style in your size, because they got such a humongous stock in the store that whatever style you pick out, you can bet Maddie Bell's life on it. It's in your size, ready to slap on your feet right now. The pros at Brandy's understand fit and comfort, and they specialize even in wide widths, too, for your big fat feet. Brandy's is worth the trip from just about anywhere, so for comfort, style, fit, value, and selection, always think Brandy's shoes. And they are open right now, by the way. They're open, 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach. Open daily, 9 to 9, Sundays 9 to 5. And to all the good people of South Florida during this very difficult time, Brandy's say their thoughts are with you. And Brandy's, like I said, is open to serve the community as they have for 25 long, amazing years.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QA.
And say cheese.
Grab hold of your yarmulkes and get ready for a Broadway show you won't want to pass over. It's Fiddler on the Roof, as you've never heard it before, starring Rosie O'Donnell.
If I were a thin girl, yada deedle deedle diddle deedle 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 dum. Ellen would have said yes to me if I were a dress size 3.
Oh, and Harvey Firestein.
Matchmaker, make me a match. I like to pitch, so he'd better catch.
Holy gefilte fish! Rosie and Harvey even sing a Fiddler on the Roof duet already.
Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. Broadway's full of gay.
Even though our careers have ended, here is one job that still pays.
Why, it's so transgender it almost isn't kosher. Don't miss Rosie O'Donnell and Harvey Firestein in Fiddler on the Roof.
119. Okay, wait till you hear this. 712 votes on the poll, by the way. We are going to make our 751 easily. We'll slide into it easy, just like Jackie Robinson slid into home plate. Remember when Jackie Robinson stole home in the 52 World Series?
I've seen the highlight.
And Yogi Berra jumped up and was screaming and yelling at the umpire? That's before he found the Aflac duck. Anyway, so here, if you want a good laugh, this will put a good smile on your face and make some people really angry, the ones that are listening on their transistor sisters or in their cars who don't have power and are getting really, really angry about it now, and they should be, rightfully so. We sympathize, we empathize, we're right there with you. Florida Power Light announced today it continues to restore power. And by the way, I thought that since there was no 10 a.m. update, that there'd be a 1 p.m. update. Well, guess what? I don't see one. I just looked at their website again, and I refreshed it, and I rebooted it, and refreshed, and potchkeyed with it, and still 6 a.m. Anyway, here's what they're saying. They've announced new power restoration completion times for some areas. St. Lucie and Martin counties. Essentially, all customers will have power restored by the end of the day tomorrow. Of course, that's only, there's 500 in St. Lucie County and 1,500 in Martin County, so that's like small potatoes. But they're all going to have it by the end of the day tomorrow. Do we care about St. Lucie and Martin counties?
No.
Absolutely not. We couldn't give a flying fig less. Palm Beach County. Well, let's see, this is the Sun Sentinel again. Let's start with the areas we care about most. Broward County, the area west and south of I-75, will be essentially restored by the end of the day, November 9th. West and south of I-75 by the end of the day, November 9, which is on next Wednesday. Customers north of 595 and west of University Drive by the end of the day, November 9th. All other areas by the end of the day, November 13. 13, which is, 14 weeks from Sukkot. The 9th, what day is that? The 10th is a Thursday. 11th would be Friday. A Sunday.
The 14th?
Huh?
The 14th?
No, the 13th.
Oh, okay.
By the end of the day on that Sunday. George, George right now, again, put the gun down, George. Come on, put it down. Now, again, that doesn't mean that everybody's going to have to wait that long. I want to reiterate what the propaganda they keep giving. That's the by that date. See, by that date. But the way it's looking now with no more updates, it looks like it's going mighty slow. Mighty slow. I'm going to read that again. The area west and south of 75 will be essentially restored by the end of the day, November 9th, which is a week from yesterday, next Wednesday. Customers north of I-595 and West University Drive by the end of the day, November 9. All other areas by the end of the day, November 13, which is 45 weeks from Simchas Torah. Dade County, the area north of Southwest 8th Street will be essentially restored by the end of the day, November 11th. That's Veterans Day last time. We used to call it Armistice Day when I was a kid 50 years ago, 70 years ago. By the end of the day, November 11th. Customers between Southwest 8th Street and Southwest 88th Street by the end of the day, November 10. Miami Beach south of 79th Street by the end of the day, November 10. And all areas of Southwest 88th Street by the end of the day, November 8th. And then it says, for latest updates of county-by-county power restoration, click here, and you click there, and it's the 6 a.m. report. Palm Beach County, saving them for last, of course. The areas of Belglade, Pahokee, and South Bay will be essentially restored. Maybe they can thaw out that cherry pie at Pahokee. Will be essentially restored by the end of the day, November 11. Customers north of PGA Boulevard by the end of the day, tomorrow, Friday. All other areas by the end of the day, November 9, next Wednesday. Well, I'll tell you, I mean, should people be happy about that? Should they accept this? Should they say this is the kind of service that we really want and appreciate really greatly?
Of course not.
No. That sucks is what it does. And I realize there's a lot of mangled poles and there's lines and wires. You know something? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They pay through the nose. You got a monopoly out there. All these companies, they have monopolies. It's not like you can call up somebody else and say, well, FPL can't get my power back on. How about you guys? I'll sign up with you. Sorry. They got a monopoly, baby, and monopolies are bad. And this is living proof of it right there. November, and the one about George, November 13. Oh, boy. He might actually commit sausages.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long ways away. The 13th today is only the 3rd. That's 10 days. A week from Sunday. And how the hell is the Rodriguez household going to get through the weekend this weekend with no NFL? Well, that's right. They got the generator.
Yeah.
Boy, generator or not, can you imagine the pain in the ass that is? And of course, you can only plug so many things into it. Like your TV and your refrigerator, and that's about it.
Well, not if your TV doesn't work, if the cable's out.
No, you can hook your TV into it, and you can stick your finger on it.
True.
By the way,
yeah,
Moe is here.
Well, wait a minute. You say that like I said he didn't. Haven't I been promoting all day like I always do? The Moe Meister at 2. I knew he'd be there. Why wouldn't he be?
He said yesterday he might not show up.
He had a bad day, okay? He had a sour day, whatever the deal was. Maybe he lost some bets. Maybe they treated him like crap in New York. I don't know. He took it a little bit. And in addition to which, I wish you would convey this to him. I was just thinking this during the break. See, one thing I realize, because I've been doing this for 100 years, is that now with a hurricane and with a lot of people without power, without phones, under the best circumstances, the calls we get are Mostly crapo, okay? On a sunny day with everybody with power, phone, etc., right? Now you've got all these people with either no phone, no power, a combination of these things. So the potential pool you have of people to draw from to discuss sports, world affairs, picking your nose, whatever the topic is very limited, okay? It's very limited. Keep that in mind, Mo, please. You're playing with about a tenth of a deck now with this phone situation, right?
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind. Don't be blaming us for the fact that we got nothing but knuckleheads out there. Although we've had a lot of great calls today.
Oh, yeah.
WQAM, hello.
Neil?
Yes, a lady. Oh, see? I told you there's a lady out there.
How are you, Neil?
Great.
Please, I want you to add me to your list about FP&L. No power.
Yeah. And where are you?
I'm in Sunrise and Nob Hill.
Oi!
Well, you're right down the street from me. I got my power back down there Saturday night.
Well, you're lucky. No FP&L trucks in the neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
And, you know, they just give you a song and a dance when you call there, so they should be embarrassed of themselves. They really should.
Well, thank God for me being on the air, ripping them an ass. Not that it does any good. And Ike Siemens are calling for an investigation. This is a disgrace. It's a disaster.
Hey, thank you so much. I do appreciate it.
Oh, well, at least you got Walgreens right there next door anyway, right?
There you go.
Which I hope they're open. And get a lot of drugs there. You'll need them.
You're right.
Good luck.
Thank you, Neil.
See ya.
Bye.
See, now there's a nice lady. She's at least chuckling a little bit. I got her to laugh a little, right? But she basically is pissed off and fired up, and rightfully so. She's at Sunrise in Nob Hill, right by the Publix, right by where that other pizza loft went bust. Now that restaurant is some kind of I forget what it is now. You know, one thing about you people who want to go in the restaurant business, you know what they say about location? They're right.
Sure.
If you go into a place where they've been out of business, like everybody preceded you, like 15 different places, that's not a good place to open. I tried to tell somebody that, but he ain't speaking to us no more. 1 at QAM.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is Joe Bowen, the voice of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and you're listening to the Hockey Authority, Neil Goss.
Tonight on Celebrity Poker, Ted Levine.
It puts the chips in the pot.
Al Franken. Al Pacino.
You fairy.
Jack Lugman. And Camilla Parker Bowles.
All right, mates, let's play poker. What are you betting, Alan?
$6,000.
I call you Alan because I am Al Franken.
I don't care who you are, you fairy.
Now, how much?
$6,000.
That's an awful lot of money.
What are you going to do about it, you fairy?
What do you got, Jack?
You just cost me $6,000 and one calorie. What are you going to do about it?
All the suspense and excitement you can expect from low-budget, dumbed-down television. Like this viewer here.
That was funny. Oh, God, I want to die.
Become fleshy jello in a chair with Celebrity Poker on ESPU.
743 votes on the poll. We'll do that 751 like sliding off of a top of a tall building.
What'd I say?
743. We got a shot at close to 800. Now, we're not going to get 800, but right on the edge of it. We don't want to set our bar too high, though, because then we'll have to hop over it again tomorrow. Days before the U.S.-led invasion of Iraq in 2003, Saddam Hussein agreed in principle to accept an offer of exile from the United Arab Emirates, but the deal fell through. The reported offer came before an emergency Arab League meeting in Egypt and discussions between UAE officials and a Hussein aide, said one senior official who was then a member of the UAE delegation to the Arab League. The Iraqi president issued conditions, and the proposal went nowhere. The Hussein aide, Abed Hammoud, is now in jail in Iraq. How do you like that? See, also this, before we get to the good stuff. The CIA has been holding and interrogating al-Qaeda captives at a secret facility in Eastern Europe, part of a covert prison system established after 9/11 attacks, the Washington Post reported yesterday. The Soviet-era compound is part of a network that has included sites in 8 countries, including Thailand and Afghanistan, the newspaper says, citing U.S. and foreign officials familiar with the arrangement. Thailand denied it was host to such a facility because they lie a lot. There's no fact in the unfounded claims, government spokesman Surapong Subwangli said. Call up Joyce, see if we can say that again.
She said
the newspaper said the existence and locations of the facilities were known only to a handful of officials in the U.S. and usually only to the president and a few top intelligence officers in each host country. The CIA hasn't acknowledged the existence of a secret prison network. A CIA spokesman did immediately return a call seeking comment. The prisons are referred to as black sites in classified U.S. documents, and virtually nothing is known about who the detainees are, how they're interrogated, or about decisions on how long they'll be held. How you like that? Secret prisons. Probably doing a little bit of
Abu Ghraib
on these guys. Man sues after using glue-covered toilet. There's an idea for
Abu Ghraib
for those damn prisoners. That'll make them talk. Boulder, Colorado. A hardware retailer, Home Depot, has found itself in a sticky situation, defending a lawsuit by a man who claims the chain's Louisville store ignored his cries for help after he fell victim to a prank and was glued to a toilet seat. Bob Doherty, 57, of Nederland, said he became, that's Nederland, Colorado, not Nederlands, said he became stuck to a bathroom toilet seat on which somebody had smeared glue October 30th,
About 30, man.
2003, and felt tremendous panic when he realized he was stuck. Wouldn't that be something, getting stuck on the pot?
That would be something.
They left me. They're going through. Oh, by the way, speaking of the Beast, didn't hear the story about Denver has passed a law allowing 1 ounce of pot?
I'm moving.
Possession? But, well, don't move too fast because the state and the Fed governments are going to, bust your ass anyway, they said. But it passed in Denver. They left me there going through all that stress, Doherty told the Boulder Daily Camera. They just let me rot. They let him rot on the pot. His lawsuit filed Friday said Doherty was recovering from a heart bypass surgery at the time and thought he was having a heart attack. A store employee who heard him calling for help informed the head clerk via radio, but the head clerk believed it was a hoax. Home Depot spokeswoman, who would believe it? Hey, I'm in here stuck glued to the toilet seat. Home Depot spokeswoman Catherine Gallagher said she couldn't comment on pending litigation. The lawsuit said after about 15 minutes, store officials called for an ambulance. Oh, this is choice. Paramedics unbolted the toilet seat, and while wheeling a frightened and humiliated Doherty out of the store, he passed out. The lawsuit said the toilet seat separated from his skin, leaving abrasions. This is not Home Depot's fault, he said, but I am blaming them for letting me hang in there and just ignoring. Hey, hang in there, Pally. They had to unbolt the toilet seat from the bus, the porcelain bus, and they schlepped him out of there with a toilet seat dangling from his
rectum,
back, and it finally fell off. Can you just envision that?
That's pretty funny.
That is cute. There's a difference between cute and funny. Now, let's see. In about 10 minutes, we'll see whether it's cute or funny. Isn't that when you're going to do this deal?
Oh, yeah, I'll do it at the next break.
Pizza Man? Oh, next break. Ooh, I'm excited. Thief steals $75,000 worth of bull semen. Wolfsville, Maryland. Somebody stole $75,000 worth of bull semen from a Frederick County farm, the sheriff's office says. Eric Fleming said the 6 small canisters of frozen semen taken from a liquid nitrogen tank represented 4 to 5 years of collection work. He said he had planned to sell it and use the proceeds to expand his breeding herd of shorthorn beef cattle. I'm so depressed about this, I probably would get out of the cattle business, he said. He said he found the semen missing from an outbuilding on the Stonewood Acres farm in northwestern Frederick County Sunday night. Fleming said the canisters held the semen of 40 to 50 bulls, and that's no crap. House with bride for sale for $600,000. Denver. There's a lot of crap going on in Denver, you know. For $600,000, a 40 to 60-year-old man can buy a house in a trendy Denver neighborhood that comes complete with a bride. Deborah Hale, 48, has placed an ad on eBay offering to sell her home in the Washington Park area to a compatible man who wants to spend his life with her. She also has her own website outlining the deal. I'm looking for a soulmate, Hale told the Rocky Mountain News Tuesday. She didn't immediately return a telephone call message left at her home. Hale lives part-time in a 1910 bungalow-style house. She also has a jewelry business in Albuquerque, New Mexico. She says she's received about 60 responses. I have to say that the emails I've gotten have been very kind and very nice, she said. Deadline for bidding is Valentine's Day 2006. She's in no big hurry, you see. No big hurry. Okay, let's give the result of the poll. We got 763 already. We're going to get to 800 votes today, which is more than probably we want, because then that means we got to do like 850 tomorrow, or else.
Yeah.
Or else we feel bad all weekend long, and especially on my birthday Saturday, I want to have like this positive feeling, you know. I want to go to Woodbine Saturday morning and get 3 Wheel of Fortunes and get $166,000, Beast.
Good luck.
I'd be envious.
Hey, I was sitting right next to that. You heard me tell the story, that old bag that won $128,000. And then I was like three machines down from the blonde broad that got the $166,000 about 3 weeks ago. I was at machine number 3 up in the front there, and she's on machine number 6. I was on the wrong machine, man. And bada bing, here they were, $166,000. When is my day coming, huh?
By the way, it's supposedly Mondays and Tuesdays is when they pay out most.
I got news for you. Not at Woodbine. I was there Monday, which I never go on a Monday. I made a bad judgment. Bad judgment. It's a miracle I got my pants on when I left there. God. Now, where are you talking about? Where are they paying? I mean, they're not connected. I don't know what you're talking about. How can you?
Supposedly Mondays and Tuesdays, and towards the end of the year, around December, is when machines.
Where are you talking about? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I got some inside information from someone we know that works in the casino industry.
Mondays and Tuesdays, and where?
And towards the end of the year, like December.
Everywhere. You're saying that Wheel of Fortune you're talking about?
No, just in general slot machines.
That is the biggest pile of caca, man, I've ever heard in my life. Whoever told you that, yeah, you got some real inside information. I don't want to inside where.
Rectum.
Yeah, that's where it came from. Baloney. I'm going to tell you right now. And speaking of end of the year, he's wrong because any holiday, like Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, any major holiday when the casinos are jammed, they tighten those things down tighter than a snare drum because they know that as soon as you get up, somebody else is going to sit down. The places are packed, jammed with touristas, okay? All in Vegas, Atlantic City, here, anywhere there's casinos. Trust me, believe me when I tell you, don't go when there's either a special promotion, when they're giving something away, or when it's like a holiday. Because those are the days when they've got those things on the computer on slow cook. Now, seriously, if you do know somebody who's connected with a computer business, you need to find out from him about these timers that they put them on. See, they deny that they do that, but we all know they do it. And then you're sitting there for a half hour and you realize that nobody around you is getting anything except blank polls, and you're playing a dead machine, man. That's bad. It's like burning the money. You might as well have a forest fire. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, boy, the downtimes, man. And it's all on computer now. And I'm still not convinced that they can't take the number of your computer and put it in the number of your machine and put it in the computer and, like, kill it. If a machine is too hot, I think they can type the number right in the computer and, like, put that thing on the slowest payout mode. I call it the coma mode. Or the guy like in Denver, the commode. 768 votes. It's 21 till 2. A major moment in radio history is coming up soon.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QA.
That the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
I can't get over what that Huey said today. He's got a lot of noise to talk about me that way. I don't give a crap what that fairy has to say. If he wants to smoke pink cigars, then let him. Why, I'll have you know, I know what I'm talking about. Every morning at the condo, I take the elevator down, and on my way to the car, when I pull my folding basket out, I grab a free condo paper. The toys are back in town. The boys are back in town. I said the boys are back in town. Why, you little... I'm the god of all you sport old fools. I know everything that's going on in the news. Why, I even know all the new Mahjong rules. I'm hip to the jive, Daddy-O.
Too bad you're going down tonight. It's the better show when I take your place. I know I ain't nowhere toilet-y, but when they drop, my voice will change.
You little smoothie.
Driving drunk again. Out on the roads, I'm driving drunk again.
Good. That's not what I wanted to play. I wanted to play this.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I wish I had, better news to report, but...
Bad news?
No, well, nothing exciting. I offered, and he just said, no, thank you. I said, are you sure? He said, yeah, I'm positive. That was it.
So, in other words, you went to the man himself?
I did, yeah. I just
directly?
Well, because he wasn't in the studio. He was in the bullpen here.
Right.
And so I saw him, and I said, hey, Howard, I got 2 slices here for you. You want some pizza? And he just said, no thanks.
Well, but at least we made an effort there.
I did. I thought it was a nice gesture.
It was a very nice gesture. It was done with class.
I heated it up for him.
Really? So what did you wind up doing with it?
I just stuck it back in the box.
I see. Well, we tried our best, okay? We made and maybe he already had lunch. It would seem to me that if I'm working 2 to 4, I probably already had lunch at home before he headed on the Hershey Highway from Boca, right?
Right, that's true.
In addition to which, who the hell, only slobs like us eat on the air, like eat right before we go on the air, so.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, you had good instructors. So we made our effort there, and what can I tell you? The good news is we're going to make 800 votes on the poll today, which I think is most shocking, you know what?
Stupendous.
The bad news is those horrible dates that FPL gave that last thing from the Sun Sentinel, and then you do click on it, and it's still, there is no 10 a.m. update on the work they're doing. There's no 1 p.m. on the updates. There's nothing. There's 6 a.m. Well, I hate to break the news to them, but it's almost 2 o'clock, which is like 8 hours later, and inquiring minds would like to know just how much progress is being made as opposed to this BS release that they come out with, which was dated 12:38 this afternoon, by the way, a little over an hour ago. I mean, November 9th, November 13th. We're talking to dates that must seem a lifetime away from some of you poor folks out there that are like living in the dark, living hand to mouth, living like in the Stone Age, like in a 10th world country. I'll say it again. It is totally unacceptable. That's my take. The city of Fort Lauderdale has banned swimming at its beaches due to a state warning about the safety of the water after Wilma. Many of Broward's beaches have been cleared of debris and are open to the public, according to county officials, but the Florida Department of Health is advising residents and visitors to avoid swimming at the beaches until testing of the water has been completed to determine that it's safe. That's in Fort Lauderdale. Test results expected tomorrow afternoon. And it says for more information, call the Broward County Hurricane Hotline, 954-831-4000. 954-831-4000. So go to the beach and hang out and, lay down in the sun. As a matter of fact, in the sun, well, how's the weather doing today? All that rain has passed through, I'm sure.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So a little sunshine?
A tad.
A little bit. A little teeny tiny sun is peeking through. Not too much. Well, so that went better than some people expected, that attempt there, that attempt at détente.
Right.
Attempt at whatever the hell it was.
I
think the Beast is right. That was pretty good judgment on his part, which is very, very unusual for him. I think that would have been over the top.
Well, that's maybe what we wanted.
No. Well, maybe that's what you wanted. No, I didn't want to do it.
I honestly thought he was going to take offense to that.
You see, that's the difference between you guys and me. You want to do it in an insulting way.
No, that's not true.
I want to try to do a little massage there, a little something like lower the temperature a little bit. Not so much hostility and hysteria. Just a radio show.
No,
this is what we do, okay? And if it means I'm reading from the newspaper, or if it means I'm telling some little inside stories about people doing ridiculous crap, so be it. That's it. It's a radio show. And like I said, as far as the callers are concerned, I wouldn't give it 15 cents for the callers we had today. Can you tell me one? Oh, no, the lady was nice. She was good. And it was the guy who was in southeast Fort Lauderdale without the... Those two.
That's it.
The rest of those calls I wouldn't wish on Hitler, Ava Braun, and Mussolini. Throw him in as well.
I bet line 9 right now is a good one.
Line 9 is going to be good? Well, that's what Josh says. QAM, I bet you it's not. QAM.
Hey, Neil, how the hell are you, buddy?
All right.
4 quick things. Number 1, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Number 2, if it makes George feel any better, that fat slob Cashno doesn't have any power either.
Good.
Number 3, FPL stands for freaking people legally. Oh!
See, you're right. That was a good call. Only he said he had 4 things. Didn't he?
Well, maybe it was the...
Oh, I see. The 3 things and was number 4. You were right. You had your thumb right on it. That was one of our better calls in a long time. There's not much to choose from out there, Howard. I mean, Mo. See, even in a moment of weakness, they actually called him Moe Howard. 788 votes. We need 12 more votes in the next 10 minutes, and that I think entitles me to several days off.
This is Neil Rogers.
Rub it in. Not a cloud in the sky, blue skies, no hurricanes, power's on. That's bad to be doing that, right?
Very.
Sorry. 803 votes on the poll, though. 803 votes. See, I told you we could do it. Who do you wish had become president now or past? Al Gore, 265. Bobby Kennedy, 196. John McCain, 121, even with that big puffed-up cheek. John Kerry, 78. Mario Cuomo, 35. Ted Kennedy, 33, who's just big and puffed up all the way around. Adlai Stevenson, 19. George McGovern, 18. Nelson Rockefeller, Rocky, 18. Hubert Humphrey, 12. And Michael Dukakis, only 8. 8 votes for little Michael Dukakis. But he was sure impressive in that photo op he did in that tank, wasn't he? Little midget in the tank. Thanks a lot, Mike. Democrats just have a way of doing that. And sunny and 63 tomorrow. I'm looking at that like a little Indian summer here. Aren't you feeling bad about that? Now, it's all right there today. Rain has finally stopped. All that torrential rain the last 2 days. The roof stopped caving in for the time being. And I should probably mention this again, shouldn't I? The power restoration dates. I don't want to get you too depressed, but it's information that people need to know. Read it and weep. I read it, you weep. Broward County, according to Florida Plunder and Loot, they say, and let me check one more time before I read this, just to make sure I'm not missing an update, like a 1:30 or 1. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think there's going to be a new one since 6 o'clock this morning?
I doubt it.
Come on, ye have little faith. Florida Plunder and Loot, baby. They're the best. They're doing it for us. Let's see. Here we go. 6 a.m. Oh, man, do they suck or what, huh?
Yes,
wow.
absolutely.
They're bad. Anyway, Broward County, they say, and again I'm repeating, they say, the area west and south of I-75 will be essentially restored by the end of the day, November 9th. That's next Wednesday. Oy vey. Customers north of I-595 and West University Drive, also by the end of the day, next November 9th, Wednesday. All other areas that were not in those geographical areas I just said, by the end of the day, November 13, which is a week from this Sunday. Holy moly. Dade County, the area, and of course what they would probably say is, oh yeah, but originally we said the 22nd, then it was the 15th, and now look at this, we moved it all the way up here. What are you complaining about, right? That's what they would say. Dade County, the area north of Southwest 8th Street, will be essentially restored by the end of the day, November 11th. Customers between Southwest 8th Street and Southwest 88th Street by the end of the day, November 10. Miami Beach, south of 79th Street by the end of the day, November 10. All areas south of Southwest 88th Street by the end of the day, November 8th, which is, what day is that? Tuesday? November 8th, which ain't too great. And Palm Beach County, the areas of Belgrade, Pahokee, and South Bay will essentially be restored by the end of the day, November 11th. Customers north of PGA Boulevard by the end of the day tomorrow, Friday, and all other areas in Palm Beach County by the end of the day, November 9, Tuesday. So we'll see if George shows up tomorrow, if he's still sick under the weather. He was, when you spoke to him, he sounded like on death's door. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Not good.
Not at all.
All the fumes from that generator probably slowly but surely killing all the people in his family, probably his little dog as well. Sounds like a massive, massive lawsuit to me. And then again, to hear this news about maybe by November 13, because his area, like in Hollywood, is not in any of the other geographical areas. Like the further east you get, the more off tourist you are, the way it looks here. So, keep your transistor sister going. We'll do the best we can. We got the Mo Meister next. Mad Dog at 4, 6:30 your Panther preview. Panthers at the Bruins with Geldy and Silly Red Deer Randy, 7 o'clock tonight.
Bye, bye, bye.